What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. Listen, I just got to start off the show by saying I did not know that was going to happen last night at Raw. I mean, Logan mentioned it like, hey, I might like point at you or something like that. And then this fucking Judas runs up on me and tries to make me lie to everybody at Madison Square Garden. If we were at like the Brooklyn Nets Arena, whatever the that's called, okay, I'll lie all day. I'll do whatever bullshit you want for the wrestling, right? But not in Madison Square Garden. So I tell him the real, which I think you should do to someone who I thought was a friend. The guy invited me to his fucking wedding last week. So I have to tell him, like, listen, nobody's fucking here to see you. You're not even wrestling tonight. His ego is so fragile, he grabs me, he pulls me over that in front of my wife.
Yeah.
That's pretty emasculating.
It really is.
I just put out a special about how my balls don't work.
Yeah.
And now I get bent over a railing in front of my wife.
And in front of Dove. Both of them.
Both of my wives. Both of my wives clutching their pearls.
Just say the word, man. If it's on site for Logan.
Yo, I'll be honest with you, I was shocked that you didn't pull up, bro.
No, he tried.
I was
a little too far back, and you know.
Really far back. You were like second row or something like that. I saw you.
A little too much effort.
Did that? Honestly, I felt let down, bro. I felt let down. Because I had my boys right there. And I thought you were going to jump in that ring. Thank God for AJ Styles.
I mean, you're a diehard wrestling fan.
Perfectly timed thing by AJ Styles.
Well, when did you buy tickets for this?
Say again?
You bought tickets for this?
Yeah, I bought tickets for it.
When
I gotta check my calendar. Where did we buy it? No, wait, we bought the tickets for it.
Like months ago.
Yo, months ago. Like the second it was announced, I was like, oh shit, Raw's coming out.
When what was
I'm
announced?
going to that shit.
Like when who was fighting?
When Seth Rollins and CM Punk were announced that they were going to be headlining a steel cage match.
Yeah.
Have you ever fucking seen a steel cage match
Never.
live before yesterday?
I've never seen a steel cage
and it
match.
changed your goddamn life.
Yeah, I thought it was sick as hell, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so did all of us. That's why 18,000 people were there. Okay, to see that, not Logan Paul, you fucking jerk. Okay, and you guys could have had my back. You could have had your moment, okay?
He got brand new Air Force Ones. He wasn't going to ruin them for that.
Why don't you take off your shoes like that little Asian girl wrestler that came into the ring?
Madison Square Garden! Yeah, that was the best moment.
Mark got a video. That was cool. That was cool. She was cutting her promo, and she was just leaning into that accent.
She was going for it, though.
And she slapped the shit out of those
did.
girls, man. I like that. I like that kind of energy.
You saw the jewelry fly everywhere?
Yup.
Yeah, it was fire.
Yeah, I like that kind of energy.
Son, you saw Dove reaching for it.
Jim.
He's like that thing from Fantastic Beasts. Anyway, Logan need to get his, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, that was messed up.
So we'll see what happens.
He got to check in when he comes back to New York.
No, he got to check in. Matter of fact, I might go to your wedding now. I wasn't gonna go, but I might go to your wedding. I might hit you with a fucking suplex. Okay.
Whoa.
I also just like to point something out for the historic record. I think I'm the only person in wrestling history to be pulled over a railing, thrown down on the floor like a rag doll, rolled into the ring, put in a suplex, not officially suplex, and still jumped on a top rope. Nobody in the history of wrestling has done less to get on those top ropes.
So you look at it, and he was like, fuck it, I'm going to go.
I'll be honest, I wasn't going to do it. Then AJ was like, yo, go do it. Go jump up there. And I was like, I ain't going to ever get this opportunity.
Not worth it, though. For the pick alone.
Hell yeah, it's worth it.
Me and Miles was like, oh, man, he's going to hurt himself jumping down. I was like, he's going to pull something when he jumps down.
There's a moment where I thought I was going to catch my foot on the way up. I didn't know if you jump on the top rope or the second rope. And I was like, and I thought about the top rope. I was like, ain't no way I can bounce on that motherfucker. I actually kind of like went like this one. And
you went face forward off it. Scorpion. They got to stretcher him out, dude.
He would have left looking like Rey Mysterio.
So there was a match. I don't know if y'all saw that when Rey Mysterio, he did that like jumped off the thing.
Is it really him?
I think it's like Shamu.
Oh, yeah.
You know how like Shamu, they would flip out with another Shamu?
Oh,
but they don't
I figured that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So they hit up fucking Home Depot, you know, whatever, and then you get one whatever city you're in.
That's the mystery.
That's
the mystery.
Yeah.
You never know who's under there.
There's no way.
No,
There's
that
no
motherfucker
way.
is incredible. That dude's like 50 years old. And he did that one move. I don't know if anybody saw it. I thought they were going to stop the match. He did this one move where he like flips off and his like ankles are supposed to go on the guy's neck and then flip the person.
Okay, yeah.
He was on like the top.
Oh, yeah.
He does it, but when he's coming down, he hits his neck on one of the ropes.
Oh, shit. Oh, I missed that.
And like his head slams back. And I was like, oh, he's dead. This is 100% dead. Son, so many times last night, I was blown away.
Your whole reaction the whole
I
day.
was blown away. Dude, I was blown. I felt like I was at like a Bonnie Blue meetup. Like, there was like
ropes everywhere.
When they're doing the punches and shit, you're like, all right, this don't really look real. Like, whatever. But anytime they're jumping off of shit, it is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you still got to land from 10 feet in the air. I don't know how these guys, I mean, I'm 41 years old. There's no way I could do this and then do anything the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, you rolled into the ring pretty good.
My hip hurt.
Yeah, how do you
I
feel
did
right
PT this morning.
You're feeling it?
Say what?
Are you like, you feel good? Or?
I mean, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
You look fucked up.
Because he passed the physical, remember?
Yeah, I passed the physical. You had to pass the physical.
Gotta pass the physical to
If
get
you
in the
don't
ring.
pass physical, you can't get in that ring.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shout out to New York State Athletic Commission.
Let's go. Gang, gang.
Sometimes bureaucracy works.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, protect.
That's why I
protects
didn't
the
jump
athletes.
in. I didn't want to get you in trouble.
Because you didn't pass the
yeah,
physical.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't pass physical.
Thank you.
He did
man.
the physical. He didn't
Yeah,
pass it.
I know. Yeah. Pussy, bro. That's what that is. Big time pussy over there. That's
Nah, I'm
crazy.
about the juice, man. I'm about the juice.
That's great. Was that when was the last time you got a physical other than last night?
I think I had to get one for Netflix. I told him that shit. I was like, by the way, I already got a physical for Netflix. and he was like, yeah, I think it might be a little different physical.
How come for physicals in high school they had to touch your balls? Do you remember that?
No, they never did that with us, Mark. Tell us about what happened when you were fucking
Did they not do that to you
homeschooled.
guys?
Tell us what happened when you were homeschooled about this physical you got.
So your priest gave you physicals?
No,
Like,
bro,
what
it
is
wasn't.
going
No,
on?
it was not a priest. Every
The
time
church
I
is a
did-
one-stop
Why is
shop.
every school
Did this-
story so fucking traumatizing about you, bro?
Did this not happen with you guys? When you had to do
No.
physicals for high school sports,
No.
they would touch your balls.
Yeah, if they did that, they would know my shit was just sitting at the bottom. Son, I'm the face of sperm that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
You know how many dudes coming up to me on the street like, yo, I got the same problem. There was a dude on a city bike that literally hunted me down on the street just so he could be like, yo, my sperm sucks too. What do I do with that information?
I mean, you just dap them up.
I did.
It's like when you do a advertise for AIDS and shit
Yo,
like
fuck
that.
you, wow. Fuck you. I hope you get that shit.
Son, you
Yo.
the Magic Johnson. Bad sperm, bro.
That should be the marketing for Netflix. We should do a billboard, like an IVF thing, with just like
Yeah.
your face.
Shut up, Mark, you piece of shit. You're a real
It
jerk.
could be
You're a
good.
real asshole.
could be
That's
good.
what you
All
are.
those years you was complaining about how one bowl
Your
was just
sperm is
crazy
great.
big.
Your sperm is
Why
great.
did you ever get it checked out?
Why didn't I get it checked out?
Yeah, when you had that ball issue for mad long.
Well, I don't know.
It
I'm
made
not
for
like-
great content on the pod for years.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it did. But I think it's probably because I'm not like somebody on this podcast that tries to get his balls rubbed by every man in his fucking life.
Oh, tell us about that.
yeah, tell us about that.
No, okay, Miles. And when you were in high school,
ask me.
and you
Don't
did
bring
a
up
physical,
Miles. Don't
First
ask me.
person you go
was
to.
it a
Bob.
Florida thing?
Yeah,
I can't tell if you guys
It's
are
not
fucking
a
with me.
Florida thing, okay?
When you
Stop
did a
talking
physical-
about balls before David comes in here and slams it on Miles' nose.
Miles gonna beat him to it. He's not scared.
Yeah, David's in the building today, so we can talk about this little gay romances balls.
Oh, I
Nigga.
can't wait.
You
I
gotta fill
can't
people
wait.
in for anyone that
Bro,
didn't
we
listen to
hired
Patreon.
3 women in the office. I didn't realize that Miles was gonna fuck the guy who was already working here.
Is that an HR violation?
Well, I said nobody harass the women. I said specifically to all you. I was like,
follow the
listen, there are
rules.
women that are working here, and there's going to be no fraternizing with them at all. We
have a
need to
rule.
respect. We have a rule. There's a rule. You do not fraternize with the women at
Hey,
Keep
I'm a
going,
rule
I'm sorry.
follower.
all. Yeah.
I followed all the rules correctly to the T. I did not mix this up.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying you set a rule and I have not broke it. And I'm a good employee. Is what I'm
And
trying to
then
say.
you are a good employee. You
Thank
can
you.
do no wrong, but
Get ready.
are you having
Get
a
ready.
sexual encounter with David again by any chance?
No, I did not have sexual relations with that ads man.
What'd you call him?
Ads man.
Ads, man. That's a nickname in the bedroom.
It's like Mad Men.
Oh, fuck.
Damn, Miles.
Are we going to bring David in?
Yeah, we got to
it's
bring
too
David.
early.
We got to bring David in because the people know, right? We were talking about it on a public episode.
No, it's Patreon.
Oh, it's Patreon?
Yeah.
There's no way.
It was on Patreon.com.
Yeah, Patreon.
Patreon.com/flagrant?
I think so.
Oh my
That
God,
one,
that felt like a
exactly.
shameless promo.
That one exactly.
It felt like
$5
a
a
completely
month.
shameless promo. It felt like me showing up to WWE Raw the week after my special came out.
that was real,
Even though
yeah.
I bought those tickets months. When did we buy those tickets, Duff? Do you remember?
2022.
2022. You know what's funny about wrestling? Wrestling fans are like, I actually really like this about wrestling. So back in the day, there was this illusion that like wrestling wasn't scripted and all these like punches were landing, whatever. Now the base is so acutely aware that it's scripted. Now you don't have the facade. There's no like thing there's no lie that needs to be told. Now you get them on story. But they appreciate, they know all the terminology. They know like baby face, they know heel, they know all that kind of stuff. They know like when you get a move done on you, it's called a bump or whatever. So, you know, they're seeing this thing happening and they're reacting to the thing as if it was a script, which honestly really hurt me because I didn't realize that this whole fucking thing was going to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt
This is your close friend.
yeah, it's just my close friend whose wedding I was going to not go to already, but now I'm really not going to go. But I did get an invite.
And it's on site for him.
It is on site.
Let's go.
Okay, but I do appreciate the wrestling fans as well, I'm trying to say.
I was surprised to see the amount of adults there. I thought I was going to see way more kids. Like, it was like maybe 5%
You realize
kids.
that Mark and I are the only people that have kids in all of New York.
neither
There are 2 toddlers in New York City, and Mark and I own them.
Yeah, that's maybe it. But
The whole
I was
fight, Al kept
surprised.
on leaning over. He's like, yo, where are the kids, dude?
Yeah,
And I was
you're
like,
a
yo,
fucking creep.
Al, what the
No,
hell?
I was trying to keep him away from this guy.
I was trying to give him a physical. It's very strange.
What were you guys' takes on it? What did you guys think about the whole spectacle?
Oh, it's great. It's just like, it's nice because it's sports, but you're able to like interact with the athletes in an honest way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you go to like an NBA game, you can't talk all the shit you want to talk.
Yeah.
Whereas like with these guys, you can go crazy. And it's just like,
They talk shit too.
Yeah, it's fun.
This motherfucker, one of these guys was talking crazy shit to me.
Saying what?
I watched your special. That shit sucked.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. So now I'm like reflexive. My wife is right there. You insulted me, and I'm like, yeah, why you got knee pads on? And then the dude came
Got
up.
him. He really got him.
So the guy comes back. The guy comes back afterwards, and like. I'm like trying to dap him up, and he goes, he's like, I can't slap your hand in front of all these people. Like he's really keeping up the kayfabe,
Yeah.
you know. He's like, I can't slap your hand in front of all these people, but I just want to say I like you. You're a funny guy, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And he goes, I can't slap your hand in front of all these people, and I'm like, okay, you're a piece of shit. Like I didn't understand. I didn't know how to be angry and positive, you know. But it's the commitment to it.
Yeah, dude.
Also, you know what's this is the most embarrassing thing is when you're not in the action, you don't know what to do. So like I have a lot of respect to the people who aren't doing the thing. They're like on the sidelines, but they're like invested still. They're doing their little thing. They're like emotional. Or they just did a move on, someone did a move on them and they're like reeling, but they're committed to that shit.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment where I'm just sitting on the ropes and I'm like, so what y'all doing? Like, yo, this seat is fire. You gotta get this front row seat. Like I'm just there. At one point I just shook the ropes. I didn't know what to do.
You need to go.
I didn't know. It told me what to do in that moment. Not that there would be anybody telling me,
no,
obviously,
of course,
because
yeah,
I didn't even know I was going to fucking be
It's
there.
raw. It's Monday Night Raw.
It's raw.
Yes.
It's
but
raw.
there is one where you get thrown and you're like, and then AJ comes in and you're like, all right, nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then AJ slaps you, you stand up, you're like, yeah.
That's my deep breath.
You're not injured anymore.
Not at all. He gave me the energy I needed.
Yeah.
Telling you, it's raw out there, bro. You're 100% right. You're
raw.
That's amazing.
What's up, guys? World's fastest dates ever, okay? Don't fast forward, all right? We're going to be at Mary Lou in New York City, March 25th. I'm going to be in Portland, Maine, April 27th. I'm also going to be in Bangor, Maine on the 26th. And then a bunch of other dates that are going to be announced very shortly. We got Atlanta. We got Charleston. We got Indianapolis. We got Portland. Oregon will be later. Buffalo, Philly, and Raleigh, all coming up that will be available on my website, themarkagnon.com. And we'll see you guys there. Thanks so much.
Can you take that stupid picture of the three of us down?
This is nice. I feel
Just
like
my
this,
wife hiding from the camera.
This is beautiful.
Yeah,
Dove
this is
showing
good.
off his jawline.
Looks good, honestly.
Yeah.
The other fans that were there were awesome because we were with like the hardcore fans.
And tell me their reactivity. What are they
going crazy.
And they're aware of all the storylines. They're aware of everything. Like, okay.
Yeah. And they're like talking shit. They're like, oh, we're on the road to WrestleMania. Just get ready. After WrestleMania, it's going to suck. Like everyone's got like their own like directorial cuts of what should happen.
Love it.
There's one dude in the very front. So everyone that bought a front row seat got a commemorative chair to take home with them. And there was...
Wait, what?
What?
So like if you bought like the front row seats on the lining, they gave you a commemorative like a WWE folding chair
With, like, the logo and stuff all
It had
over.
logos.
So they're just getting you to clean up.
Truly, yeah. Truly,
They find a way to get the
There's
fans
tons
to
of
clean
fans
up. I like
walking
that.
out with chairs.
Yeah.
in their on their
And there's a
shoulders
guy in the very front in a wheelchair.
Oh no.
And they were like, do you want your chair? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, all right, we'll take it. And he's like, I can't. I'm in a wheelchair. And so now the management at MSG is like, take the chair. He's like, I want it, but I can't. Can you mail it to me? And the guy's like, nah, I can't mail it to you. So now they're like trying to hang it on the back of his electric wheelchair.
Oh, I missed this.
It's like a
That's
whole
funny.
thing. He's there with his dog. The dog's barking at everyone.
So, wheelchair with a dog too. That's fine.
Yeah, it was sick. He was like a husky. He was mushing. He was flying. You never see that. The disabled Eskimo, that's fire.
What was your favorite match?
I mean, Steel Cage is crazy.
The ending with Roman Reigns?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
That motherfucker, like, certain dudes are just, they are it.
He's like a superhero.
I didn't get it until I saw him in
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Yes.
He has presence. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing it live, there are people that can really like command the energy and they like milk the energy.
Yeah.
And also, there's a physicality to it. Like he's a huge guy that's incredibly agile. And when he did that spear or whatever the fuck it is, was like right in front of us. It was unbelievable. Also, the CM Punk and Seth Rollins dudes.
Yeah.
This is another thing I look at. Like, how much do you believe what's happening is really happening? Like, how much do you believe the pain that you're enduring is really there? Like, if you watch them, they believe it.
Oh yeah.
They are 100% in. They're like sweating. They're exhausted, and we can kind of become part of that reality
Yeah.
if they actually commit.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, CM Punk's sitting in the cage as people are leaving. He
Yeah.
was the last one to leave.
Yeah.
I think he was just sitting there the whole time.
Yeah.
Just
He's
milking it for the
really
next 35
humiliated.
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No, it was like seeing those two guys. Like that was really elite.
Yeah.
Like those guys probably doing it decades, but that was elite wrestling in terms of like commitment to that match.
Oh, I mean, taking a suplex off the top of the cage.
nah, crazy.
It was insane.
Yeah, and
Like-
just the way the crowd reacts.
Oh,
is
yeah,
like,
it's fire. I didn't realize how hard the canvas is. Like, it's like a hard, like, I thought it would be like springy.
yeah, you should see how hard the floor is. It's even harder.
Wait, is it padded? I actually want to.
No, it's not padded. My hip was a padded. It's not landed right in my fucking
It doesn't
hip.
have like a little, like,
They got a pad. It's like a yoga floor.
No, that shit is made out of concrete, bro. They make it look like padding for the people at home, but in reality,
yeah.
for those of us, the professionals, the people, for those of us who are actually professional wrestlers and been in that environment, it's harrowing. That experience is harrowing. For real, dude.
You would make a great professional wrestler. I mean that.
Listen, that's the last thing I want to do.
Why are you gonna lie to him like that?
No, I think it would be.
Why are you going?
It would be.
Al, before you make that decision,
No,
can you
it
just
would be.
kind of show you one move real quick? You're telling me, hold on, Al. You're telling me that this doesn't induce excitement in the crowd?
Let's go. Like, you shook it like it made noise.
I mean, it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense, but it felt like it is.
It got
My
the
instrument
fans
up
into
there.
it though. It got it.
You know
Got
what
us
I mean?
into
Like
it.
that.
It got us into it.
No.
Wait, you being outside. I'm like, damn, man.
Like, I didn't know where to put my hands. I think I almost grabbed his tuchus.
Oh, they
Thank
throw
God.
you over
Now
here.
watch this. Watch. You can see it.
Bang.
There you go. Ready? Hold on.
Yeah.
Watch this now.
Son, you was in it. You was in it.
Yeah.
So now I don't know what to do. I'm just chilling at a bar.
Yeah, you're supposed to be hurt in the corner, man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, awesome.
that's
See,
crazy.
yeah, that stuff is great.
It's just crazy.
Yes.
So here's this moment right here where like I want to dap him, but I don't. Okay, so before that I wanted to go dap him, but I didn't want to like mess up his celebration and just be out there like this. And then he turns around. But he was great. Shout out AJ Styles, man.
Well, we missed out on John Cena, though. I was trying to see heel John Cena.
Yo, we got to see heel. I mean,
You
like,
you should have snuck in like a leg drop or something, just something a bit surprising.
that would have been.
That would have been out.
That would have been.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like, I wonder if I did some extra shit, but it actually worked out. I don't know if WWE would be that mad.
Why would they?
But if it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
That's even better, though.
then I'm never going to be WWE champion. You know?
That's a good point.
And that's another thing that's probably really important.
But
I
not
feel like
working
I
out
feel
would be
like-
way funnier. You going up on the ropes and falling over Scorpion on the ground through a table, ruin Rey Mysterio's whole match. But they'd be like, yeah, this is perfect. This is actually way better than what we thought was going to happen. Yeah, dude.
So,
You versus John Cena. That's what I want to see.
Hell yeah, man.
seeing Home Alone there, he was hype.
Yo.
He loves his wrestling shit.
Yeah, he really loves
Yeah.
wrestling. He really
What's his
loves
name?
Macaulay?
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay
He was there?
Culkin.
Yeah.
You didn't see Macaulay Culkin?
He was there all he was hype.
No way.
Yeah.
I asked him about the MJ shit.
You're lying.
on the way out.
What happened?
Yeah. I was like, hey man,
I'm the one who asks crazy questions. That's crazy. You can't ask about that shit.
wait, hold on.
Didn't they sleep together or some shit like that?
What?
Didn't he do like
It
sleepovers
was
at
a
his crib?
physical. He got a physical. It's not he didn't do anything weird, bro.
So
How do you ask that?
I just went up to him. I was like, yo, it's a pleasure to meet you. Like, did MJ fuck your butt when you were a kid? Like, and
Nah, how'd you ask that?
like that.
How'd you ask it for real?
I asked him. I was like, yo, did MJ fuck your butt? Or did he jerk you and other kids off? And he was like, yeah, that happened. I was like, how'd he do it? No, I didn't. I was pussy. I just said, hey, pleasure to meet you. What's up, man?
Damn.
Yeah.
You should-
What would you have said? Now you about to tell me you
like,
should ask, right?
yeah,
This guy sucks, bro.
I was like, yo,
You suck,
MJ's
dude.
a legend, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Two
Stop.
Red Bull sodas. What do you say to Macaulay Culkin?
son, Michael Jordan Jackson was a legend. You know, I mean, both were legends, though. Both were legends,
It's fucking.
You would say that. You would go, yo, Michael Jordan.
right?
Michael Jordan did what to you?
He'd be like nothing. He'd be like, see, he proved it.
See,
He's innocent.
I'll be honest, the only thing that I don't like about WWE is the fact that we can't bet on it, okay?
Yeah, that's kind of
I
bullshit.
thought it was Logan Paul, but
Also, there's two things I don't like about WWE.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Logan Paul, okay, this part-timer,
Yeah.
and of course, the fact that we cannot bet on it. And but luckily for us, there are plenty of sports that we can bet on. Obviously, great UFC card. I mean, Justin Gaethje is back in the fucking win column. Amazing fight against Fiziev, however you pronounce his last name.
Yep.
Pereira versus Ankalaev. That was wild. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to have a talk with like Izzy about that. That was
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, plenty more UFC. We got Volk fighting in UFC Miami. I think that's 3/14. I think that's April coming up. That's going to be wild. That's a great card too. Plenty of ways where you can put some money down. Stake, by the way, is where you're going to do it. It's the leader in global betting in U.S. social casinos.
Yes.
Bet on top sports and political events and use the promo code FLAGRANT for your welcome bonus. Now let's get back to the show.
yo, take this bird off.
Oh, the Sandhill Crane.
So,
My bad.
his brother's eating majestic birds.
Oh yeah, what is the
yeah.
situation?
Time out. All the presidents
Oh,
that were
shit.
allegedly gay.
Mark's plugging his fucking time.
I'm trying to get my views up. My bad.
Yo, shout out Camp.
I'm trying to get
Shout
my
out Camp.
No, my brother called me and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm cooking up some Sandhill Crane." And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's the ribeye of the sky. It's like one of the nicest cuts of meat that you can buy this side of Mississippi.
Okay.
So now he's gotten into exotic meats and apparently you can buy it online. It's super, super rare, very expensive. And
Okay.
it's delicious.
Is it legal?
I think it's legal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I killed one of those ones
Really?
on a golf course. Did not mean to.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, there's no way I'll hit that one bird and square in the fucking head.
But your
I can't
friend
play-
said, yo, I'll kiss you on the mouth.
and I fucking smoked it.
Motherfucker turned into Tiger Woods.
Hold on, we gotta get David in here. We got so I don't know if any of you guys have listened to the Patreon. Did we say exactly what happened? Not exact. All right, so on New Year's Eve, this is a very quick version of it. You can hear the full story in detail on Patreon. But basically, New Year's Eve, David allegedly says, yo, I want to come kiss you, whatever, on when the ball drops.
Yep.
And then
Miles.
Miles is like, bet. And then Miles hits David up later because David hasn't followed up at all.
Nope.
And he
Mixing up
goes, yo,
timelines.
by the way, you made a great decision to stay in. Like, it's rainy outside, which
Yeah.
to me, in retrospect, is like, you felt rejected and you were like, I just want to make sure that you're not out.
Yeah.
And then David's like, all right, bet I'll come kiss you, whatever, if you want that. And then so he comes to meet you and you're already there with two other gay guys. You're hanging out with a bunch of gay guys.
That's very true.
And then 20 minutes after the new year,
Yep.
so nothing to do with the ball dropping or anything,
No.
you guys share a kiss with your lips, one lip on top, like that.
Also his birthday.
No, 20 minutes. 20 minutes after my birthday. Actually.
Okay. So that is okay. So
I forgot that part.
well, yeah, there's a birthday kiss.
Yo,
Okay, so
that
Dave,
is-
David,
That's
I don't know how
special.
much you heard of how I just broke that story down, but is this more or less true?
Yeah, sure.
100%.
Yeah.
So again, did you feel a little bit like sad for him? Like you would like flippantly said, yo, we're going to totally like make out on your birthday or whatever, like make out on New Year's, joking around. You don't follow up because obviously you're not going to kiss Miles, right? You guys like work together. You also both like women. And then he hits you up later in the night. Like
He does hit me up.
Yeah, he goes,
Oh,
he goes,
God.
What do you not hit him up or do you hit him up?
Can I ask Miles two questions?
Yeah, please.
Miles, your memory's bad.
I was like a lawyer.
That's not really a question, right?
Would you agree that your memory is bad? Leading the witness.
Look at him dominating you, son.
I know.
Now I understand why you like him. He didn't even ask a question. He just said, Miles, your memory's bad.
Miles goes,
yes, Daddy. Yes, it's so bad.
I would say at times it can be.
Your memory's bad, okay. And you would say my memory's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to clarify that.
It's easy to
before.
remember when you're hitting it from the back.
I tried to black it out, actually. I tried not to.
Okay, so all right, so your memory's bad. Your memory's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you think exactly is going down?
So what happened was we were at dinner for Miles' birthday.
Yeah.
With Shifty. It was me, Shifty, and Miles.
Yeah.
And I was saying like, oh shit, I've had like a phenomenal streak of having a New Year's kiss for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
And
Can
it's
I ask one question?
Yeah, what's up?
David, on New Year's Eve, I don't have a great memory, so maybe you can remember this really well.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve, have you ever kissed a guy besides me?
No.
The worst fucking lawyer in history.
Lying on the stand.
Yeah, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail.
You are lying on the stand.
But also, this is my time to
He was
talk.
fucking Atticus
This
Smith.
is Patreon to talk. This is my time
But
to
you're
talk.
lying on the stand.
How can you prove that I'm lying?
You've told me before that you
Yeah,
have.
he just said that so you wouldn't suck his dick.
Wow. I mean, all right, continue. He's lying on the stand.
Say what you want to hear. Like, you guys are both talking about your fucking...
He's lying. Wow.
Got him.
God damn.
Yeah, okay,
You
go.
ain't do that to Logan, though. Fuck.
All right, go.
So I'm like, all right, my streak's at risk because the woman I was speaking to at the time was out of town. So I'm like, hey, Miles, if I see you around New Year's, I'm going to go after it.
As a joke or serious?
It was kind of as a joke.
Yo.
The fuck is conduct?
What do you mean by that? Hold on, Miles, you might be back. Miles, you might be back. Hold on. Look at Brandon's face up there. Brandon is disgusting.
I don't give you I don't give you permission to read any
Okay, hold on. So go on.
So I'm out in East Village and I'm texting Miles like, hey, I'm at this party. It's kind of ass. So after the ball drops, I'm going to come to you, share with me your location. I go to the bar. Miles is at the back table with him, his girl, and then a gay couple. I walk in and Miles gets up and meets me halfway.
Oh, no.
So he initiated this peck.
I initiated it by going 5 blocks out of my way and meeting me at the bar.
I don't know. I was going there to say hi to you for New Year's.
Oh, shut up.
That's crazy. This is so good. I didn't Uber to you. I was at Studio 151 on 10th and C.
It's crazy he Ubered to me and I stood up and he's like, you fucking...
yeah. Now, some might say that you put more of a commitment into it, but you could also say that your excitement, right, made you leave your table and go. I'd never left my table and walked 5 steps to go meet a friend to come back sit down. Like, that's a weird thing.
I was on it was on the way to the L, so I'm like, I'll stop by.
Yeah, you're on the way.
Exactly. It's
Miles
on the
went
way.
out of his way and met me in the middle of the bar.
You went
Yeah, that's some dirty dancing shit right there, bro. Hold on. So, okay, so he walks up, he grabs you by the waist.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
And then we pecked. Miles leaned. Miles did the.
Okay, yeah. So Miles did turn his head a little bit.
So I was like this.
You went straight. Yeah.
No, but not even straight. I kind of like tucked my chin in.
Yeah, my ass.
And then Miles went.
That's not true. This is untrue.
No, Brandon, what are you thinking, bro?
This is
I thought y'all were bullshit. It kills me. And it's come in there, just like, who else have you kissed besides me?
Yeah, that did seem jealous right there. The fact that you asked
Jealous.
about
He's
other
lying on the
encounters.
stand is untrue. I'm
Yeah.
being slandered right now.
Okay, so hold on. So you obviously are approaching David, right? Like, so David has to
I gotta
slow
dap
his...
him up. I gotta dap him up.
That's not true.
And he's going,
That's not true. That's not true.
already. And I was like, God damn, bro. Get away from me.
Hold on. So you say, God damn, bro, get away from me. And then what did you do?
Then he grabs my face.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not
You
true.
grabbed his head?
Yeah.
No.
I couldn't get away.
That's not true.
Whoa.
He met me at the bar. Why would I initiate it if he's already walking towards me?
You came to my bar. You gave a bouncer your ID. You literally goes, hey, are you old enough to get in here? And you're like, yeah, I am. And also, I'm on a mission. You did a lot of steps to come see me. I'd been at that bar for hours.
You were on the way to the L. Like, it was convenient for me.
Convenient. That's crazy.
To get a smooch.
Okay, who pulled away first from the kiss?
Me. I screamed out
pulled
loud.
away.
No, I screamed out loud. I said, get away from me.
How they both downplay?
You know what's funny?
They both wanted, bro. He's like, I'm gonna kiss you. Bet, come through. Like, what the
Now they're both mad about it. Now they're both angry.
Yeah, what went wrong, man? What happened afterwards?
Yeah, this feels like something personal.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else going on here. We
What
gotta
happened to
get
you the rest of the night?
I went back with a girl
Was
to
it?
her apartment.
And
Because you were so horny.
Yeah, I was all horned up. No.
did you guys end up hooking up at the apartment, you and the girl?
Yeah.
And did you guys have sex?
Yeah.
And did you think about David's face at all during?
No.
No images of it popped in, no like thoughts of the kiss at all during the entire sexual encounter. There's no point where that was funny when we kissed or whatever.
No.
Yeah, that was almost like a threesome because she had both of y'all salivas on.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Interesting point.
Yeah, they're in there close to it.
Devil's Triangle there. But
What
no.
did the gay couple say about the kiss? Did they rate it?
No.
Nah,
I
no
think
queer
they
eye,
just-
straight guy.
Did you
shit
share
like
it
that?
with the gay couple that you guys just had a kiss?
I think they saw. I think they watched.
They saw it, yeah.
So the whole bar saw.
They
Not
might as well.
all. Not everyone
Was it a
paying
gay
attention.
bar?
No, straight bar.
It's straight-
East Village.
What was the name of the bar?
You guys tried.
I mean, they turned in that
to take
neighborhood.
over.
It was a good bar. It was a nice bar. It was a good time.
And then has it been awkward at all between you guys since? Have you guys?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No.
Our relationship got stronger, if anything.
Trying to play us right. No, we're great. We're very good friends.
Do you guys think it'll happen again?
No.
No.
Would you guys just do it now for funsies onesies? Like, would
How
you
much
guys
money?
just no.
It's like, they tried to get me to piss in my own mouth once for like 10 grand, and
You said no to that?
yeah,
For 10 grand.
on the pod. Yeah, there's
Hold on.
years of my-
Would you guys? Can we reenact it? Hold on. Can we reenact it? So one of you comes down the stairs,
No.
and
Yeah,
then
I mean,
one
no.
right here, and
Come on,
then
come on.
you just meet right in front of the foliage. One little peck, and then we just move on with the show. We have so much to discuss. Come on.
No,
Come
because
on.
David's dad will kill him next time he sees him, and if we can't have that on our
That's not
hands.
true.
That's true.
It's just a fun little game. We'll blur it.
No,
Yeah. We'll
Can we
just
do the
blur
thing
it.
that you that
Put
happened in
Miles
the
in
movie?
a wig. He got
Exactly.
the hips.
no.
Yeah. Damn. Just giving Miles something to be insecure about. Got no
nice
chin.
hips.
He got hips. What the
Son, he's not insecure about kissing him.
So that wouldn't be something that would make you feel comfortable at all. Like we could show how progressive we are on the Flagrant podcast.
Yeah,
We-
I'm all good.
We
I'm
can
looking
have
for- What's the number?
What's the number?
There's,
All
no,
right.
there's no number. What are you doing?
There's a number. There has to be a number that you would do it
That
for.
does make me feel he's more straight than you. The fact that
does.
like he's just like this doesn't matter at all. I could do it for like $20 or whatever you said.
Yeah,
And then
his
like
number is incredibly low. Is my fear. His number is going to be, I'll pay you to do it. I'll give you guys $20.
Son, you
Let me
did
do
it for free already.
yeah, you already did it, and the world knows. So we might as well just see you guys do it again real fast. No big deal. It's a fun little thing. It's wrestling.
Hey, David.
It's
It's
everything's wrestling. It's a
dude.
fun little thing.
Kayfabe.
That's all it is.
No, wrestling's incredibly real, and this is fake, so it wouldn't be right.
Well, the kiss might be scripted, but you know,
The love is real.
$2 grand.
$2,000.
Would you do
What the
it?
fuck? No.
No, we're not gonna. I mean, there's starving kids in Africa, bro. We're not gonna give you guys
Yeah.
$2,000.
There's a poor gay couple in this studio.
I think it's a fun little game to play. Listen, you guys
Come on,
do it.
boss.
Hold on, you guys do it,
And
and
then
then
you-
me and Alex will do it after you. You guys do it.
After is the most insane.
We'll do it afterwards. We'll do it right afterwards.
No.
Guaranteed.
We'll do it.
We're gonna do it right after. You have listen. In all seriousness, you have Alex's word. We'll do it afterwards.
I believed Alex in my life. I'll never know.
Never lie.
No.
So we're not gonna get any little peck. Just a peck. A peck.
No.
Right into the blue chouette. We do a peck.
No.
That's honestly great for the sponsor.
That's a great sponsorship.
So I call him admin. But no. This would be a bad idea, David.
Miles, come on, bro.
For $2 grand, Miles. Each.
Each $2,000. We're gonna put a GoFundMe or something. We'll have
No,
a
I don't, but they're not going to pay. No. David.
He's
No.
$2,000. He's considering it. See how quick it flipped?
What's the number, Miles?
Yeah,
It's
what's
gotta
the
be a
number? What's
number.
your number?
You're gonna say no to 25 hundo? $2,500 for a peck, something you've already done?
Damn.
You've already did it.
Yeah, it's the difference.
This is how it happens in Hollywood, bro.
Exactly.
This is Weinstein's hotel right here. Let's go.
Facts.
No. There's Tim's now.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. You already see the lights. You know what time it is. Hard dick season, okay, is upon us. You know what hard dick season is? Hard dick season is winter, spring, summer, fall, okay? And why is that? Because you got Blue Chew. All right. Spring is coming around. The sundresses are almost out. These girls are not dealing with that floppy winter dick that you were giving them. Okay. They need to be penetrated to the furthest parts of their vaginas or butts. Whoa. Consensually. Upon request from them, obviously. But that might be what they need, and they want as far as it goes. So how are you going to go as far as you go? You're going to be packing the PED. Same active ingredients as inside Viagra, Cialis, but this is the Chew. This is the one that we rock with, the one you're going to rock with, and you're going to get your first month free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipment. Okay, you go to BlueChew.com. Use the promo code FLAGRANT. You're getting your first month free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. You are welcome. Now let's get back to the show. All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Listen, I want to help you get your money up, okay? And the way that we're going to do that is with Acorns, okay? No more gambling on the stock market. There's a big difference between gambling and investing in the stock market. Gambling in the stock market is trying to predict the way that stocks are going to move day by day. And these trading companies have convinced you, because they make money per transaction, by the way, that the best way to do that is you just make these predictions. You're not going to beat the hedge funds. You're not going to beat anything else. That is not investing. Investing in the stock market is finding these stocks that you actually believe them and then riding them out year over year and getting that compound interest to feed you. Acorns, that is their strategy. They're not making money off of transaction fees. They have very low monthly fee. We're talking about $3, $6, and $12, like low monthly fees, okay? And what they're going to do is help you learn how to invest for your future. Let compound interest feed your future. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals, okay? You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. Even if all you've got is spare change, they can round up your purchases throughout the month and put that into your Acorns account. You start investing in just 5 minutes, okay? That means you buy something for $2.53. They're putting 47 cents in that account, and that's going to compound month over month, year over year, and you, my friend, are going to have a nice little nest egg when you are ready to do whatever it is. You want to start it for your kid right now? They turn 22 years old. They got something nice to start a business with, okay? They got something nice to pay for their college tuition. Whatever it is that you want to set them up for, or even set yourself up for, you can set your folks up for something. Sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Plus, Acorns will boost your new account with a $20 bonus investment offer available at acorns.com/flagrant. That is acorns.com/flagrant to get your $20 bonus investment today. Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/flagrant.
Yeah. How's the feedback from the special been?
Oh, that's been crazy, man. Thank you, everybody who watched it. I appreciate you guys so much for doing that. It's just been really awesome, man. We beat Robert De Niro. That was fire.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we beat Bobby D. We beat Drives to Survive. That was cool.
Yeah,
Meghan Markle. Love is Blind.
I think it's still charting on Netflix right now.
Yeah. We're in the top 3 right now, so we've been vacillating. Fucking Kate Hudson and Chet Hanks, though. That's a banger of a show,
bro. Chet Hanks, that's a tough one to go against.
He don't lose. That motherfucker never loses, man. Fucking Chet. Nah, shout out to y'all, man. But yeah, it's been so cool, man. Honestly, like, maybe the coolest part is just a lot of people who went through IVF and like way more harrowing stories than ours, like sending me these long DMs and shit. And I try to read them all and just kind of like about their experience. And then some of them will be like just laughing about it. And then some of these like really like emotional things that now they got to laugh at this experience that was like really brutal for them. Like people going through it for 11 years. And then they would always end the message about like, with their kid or just how excited they were to have their kid. And I think that's maybe the coolest thing is like seeing how excited people are to have families and like just this unbelievable enthusiasm to like bring life into the world. And every message like, I'm here with my 1-year-old and I'm watching this shit. And it's just that to me has been just unbelievable. Just incredible.
Random people have been hitting me up like from high school that I haven't talked to in like 10 years.
No way.
Just being like, bro, just put on the special. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like didn't know what to expect. Like, but we're going through the same thing right now. Like I didn't even know this about them. Like they're doing
that's
IVF.
cool.
It's like popped up within like IVF community forums.
Oh, that's fire.
Like some
That's
people send me
fire.
links where they're like, yo, there's this forum. People are, it's like 100 comments long. Just people being like, this was our, like he's just talking about our experience right
Oh,
now.
that's so cool.
So it's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting DMs of people just like showing me their miracle babies of what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're probably getting that times a million.
No, but
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
you touched people's soul with this one, bro.
It felt really good. I just felt really proud of it. You know, I was obviously proud of it before when you're editing it, but you're watching it so many times that you're like, you just lose sight of everything. You know, you're just like, is this even funny anymore? Like, and then hearing the reaction to it is very validating. And then like even having people say, I did not know what to expect. Like that, like a lot of people getting emotional at it. That was really cool. Just to make a piece of art that you feel all the gambit of emotions and I guess surprising people. Like even articles that will come out where there are people who they definitely did not maybe expect to like something that I did, and they were maybe kind of offended by some of the topics, but the story penetrated past their, I don't want to call it like prejudice of me, but like this woman wrote this article and it was like really cool, and she had went through it and it was for like Parenting Magazine or something like that. But the jokes were not necessarily jokes that she would laugh at, like, and that's fine. People have their different types of sense of humor. I don't care, but like it's so cool. Like the story allowed her to laugh at some of the jokes and allowed her to really relate to the journey. And I thought that was awesome. One, for her to even feel comfortable saying that. Like a lot of these people, even writing an article like that, they're like scared about the scrutiny.
Yeah.
And so many people are like terrified of like pissing off their publication or pissing off their community or whatever it is. But yeah, the fact that she felt compelled to share that. And then all these other people commenting on it, just saying how they also watch it. It's really cool. And hopefully destigmatizing it a little bit, because I know it can be, that shit can be like lonely and isolating.
Yeah.
So if we can just make it funny and make it a source of pride, not embarrassment. Like, yo, I'll do anything to have a kid. Like, I will fucking pay any amount of money. I'll inject anything in my body. Like, that's how much life is important to me, and like family is important to me. And I think that's how you should look at it. That's how I said. Like, initially I was embarrassed as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, will my wife even want to fuck me anymore? Like I literally went through those emotions. Like, will she not see me as like a virile man? And like, will something instinctually shut off for her? But eventually, you know, getting to that point where it's like, nah, like that's amazing how much that she wants to have a family with me. And like, that's amazing how much we want to have, how important it is.
Yeah. That the love is so strong that you would go through such a difficult process.
Anything.
Yeah. I'm going to lie to my kid. I'll tell him he's IVF. I'll be like, yo, we shelled out money for you.
I think everybody should do that.
Yeah. I'm for sure gonna, he's like, you got me for free? Like, damn. Schulz's kid, they put down cash for this. They had to go through some shit.
It's real. Bro. It's real.
Yeah, I'm not letting him watch the special.
I'm gonna tell mine he's a surrogate and be like, yo, we love you so much. We put you in another body.
Everyone shares the love.
I wasn't at the fucking mom's. Nah, that is, so that's been very cool, and man, and just super grateful. And the amount of people just sharing it, like there's so many people posting and going, yo, friends, check this out, or saying, go check this out. And that's really how I realized things were like, you could do awesome promo. We had some very cool promo, like shout out Matt for doing, you could do all these things. But if at the end of the day, the people don't share it,
yeah, word of mouth is
the word of mouth is really the only thing that moves it, right? It's like if the people watch it and they share it, they tell their friends, that's what's going to happen. And I think it's possible, you know, you see a lot of like people, like they pop into the top 5 or they pop in the top 10 and then they kind of like leave quickly. They get like a big bump. And just to be there like throughout the week is just like, it's awesome. Just fucking awesome.
So many people have hit me up about the outfit specifically.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Which I thought was a fire outfit, but the amount of people being like, yo, where can I get this?
Shout out to Ame, man. Shout out Teddy.
Have you gotten those messages?
Nah.
People be like, yo, I need that. I was like, all right. I've been sending them links. I've been lining them up.
That's an age difference for sure, because everybody hitting me up is just like, man, I went through this shit too. I know. It's like, where the pants from? Anyway, so I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. If you haven't checked it, go check it now on Netflix. And yeah, thank you, bro. Dude, I heard an interesting take from somebody who will remain nameless, but somebody was saying that I even hate saying the word woke, but like the wokeness of Hollywood was a reaction, like an overcorrection to what happened with Weinstein. So everybody felt, not everybody, but I guess a lot of people there felt as if Weinstein was an example of, don't even go anywhere. Weinstein was an example of what all of Hollywood was, right? So they're like, the world thinks that we are all these horrible rapists just bringing girls up to hotel rooms, etc. So what we have to do is prove that we are not that, and then they overcorrect in the other direction.
I can see that. That's a good take.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be one of these like, what posthumous justifications.
Yeah.
But I do see that like, because that is kind of the stain that Hollywood had, and maybe even still has for a while, right? Like Hollywood is just a bunch of pedophiles. They're just saying that about everybody in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So they're reacting to like online chatter, right? And they're like, oh my God, they think all of us producers, we're all just a bunch of these rapists and we fuck with kids and we just don't care about people at all. And it's uncomfortable environments for women. And then maybe all this rhetoric gets pushed during that time period.
Yeah. I think
can see
that
that.
plus Trump.
Oh,
Like,
of course.
I think it was right around like 2015, 2016. that
Yes.
all of that converged.
But it's kind of interesting. I never thought of that as like reactionary to Weinstein. I thought it was just like this cultural impulse.
Yeah.
But having specifically Weinstein being like emblematic of Hollywood, and then all these other producers going, oh, fuck, are they going to think that's us?
Oh, especially because everyone knew the Weinstein shit.
That's
Everyone, it was an open secret. Everyone was like, yeah, this guy's a creep. Like Courtney Love's like, yeah, don't go to his hotel room. Like everyone knows.
some
that.
of these motherfuckers will tell me like, yeah, everybody knew about it. They'll like tell me in conversation, like, because they think that like they're telling me something that, I don't know, they're like sharing with me. They're like, yeah, everybody knew about it. And I'm looking at these motherfuckers like, well, why didn't y'all do something about it? Like, is there something we don't understand about this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was a crazy conversation I had.
Yeah.
With a dude who was like related to an agency, and he was just like, yeah, I mean, people knew they were just sending girls to his hotel room.
Wow.
But they're like, if we make The Little Mermaid black, then we're fine.
Then nobody talks
We're
about
not
it.
pedophiles anymore.
100%.
But now that things are swinging back and all the woke shit's done, are they back to?
We gotta look
You
into
would
that.
hope not.
We gotta look into it.
You would hope
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of new stars in Hollywood. popping.
Yeah, we should have told him that. Like, hey, you don't have to do all the DEI stuff. Just stop the raping.
Yeah.
And that's fine with us. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that is okay. So that's the other thing. It's like now, let's say it's all merit based, right? Like acting is pure merit based and like nothing else matters, right? You're just going to hire Meryl Streep to do everything, right? But these executives and producers, like, they don't want to have sex with Meryl Streep. Right? And she doesn't want it.
I mean, speak for yourself.
But I mean, would you take down Meryl Streep?
Miles, would you do that?
For sure.
Oh, I know you like that.
I know.
What's the other Meryl Streep? What's her name? There's like two or
Sally
three of them.
Field. Sally Field.
No,
we
there's
talked about
another
in the
one
pod.
too.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That Meryl Streep, she's fucking good.
I mean, for the story.
Not even for the story. What are you talking about, dude?
To have a romantic tryst with Meryl Streep, I
Yeah.
mean, that'd be insane.
I mean, she's pretty. She got a little of that. Who's the woman who knows all about home decor? Martha Stewart.
Oh,
yeah, she got a little Martha
Stewart.
Stewart in her, right?
Yeah.
But Martha,
She got David lips. I see why you like her.
Yo, how you know his lips that well?
Nah, son, I'm just trying to make the joke. I'm
that
just
was
trying to make the
crazy.
joke. I'm trying to
that
make the
was
joke.
insanity.
That was kind of crazy.
If Brandon
yeah.
does that face, that's how you know it's
Yeah,
gay.
that was wild. That was wild. My bad. I'm making us look bad. I'm making us look bad.
My bad.
Nah, I'm making us look
David
bad.
sitting in pitch black, and you know the exact shape of his lips on Helen Mirren's face.
He got some lips on him.
I got lips. I told you
It's like low key.
Is that something that you see in men sometimes?
I mean, now that the focus is on him, he got some lips. You just mad because he got lips that you don't.
First of all,
you have this big ass mustache to hide the fact you don't got a lip. I peep game. It's all good.
If you don't have a top lip, you got to get some.
Yeah, just get a big ass mustache.
Okay, and I just focus on my bottom lip. My bottom lip is nice. I'm more bottom lipped. I got that from my mom.
You're bottom, yeah.
No,
That's the term. The lip community. That's the term.
Don't
It's
you
a
go
term.
there.
It's a term.
Oh man! Actually, I don't even know if my mom got a bottom lip, man. I was looking at I was at the museum. I went with Shiloh to the Museum of Natural History, and I was looking at all these dinosaur bones, and I was like, "That's what my mom's mouth looks like, bro. Like, it's just jaw on jaw, just clamp.
Bro.
She's a herbivore. My mom's built like a herbivore.
Damn. Damn, Larry.
Shout out Larry Legend for that one, right?
Word.
That's what I'm talking about. That's pure love. That's true love. My mom's gonna watch this. With all due respect, though, Mom. With all due respect. Bro, come on. With all due respect. That's Sandra camera like that.
I can't say that.
Andrew, stop letting your friends run holes in my walls. Yeah, bro.
Go to the Natural
Look at
History
that.
Museum and thinking your mom's crazy, bro.
So, constantly.
I told you my mom took my nephew to the National History Museum.
She's like, none of these exist.
I literally, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Did I not tell you this? We went and little Ollie was like, I saw a dinosaur at the museum. And my mom was like, what did you really see? And he was like, I saw a reenactment of dinosaur bones. And she was like, what did you really see? And he was like, I saw a plaster mold of what they thought dinosaur bones would have looked like. And my mom was like, see, there you go. They've never discovered a dinosaur bone prior to 1826. And then everyone's like, yeah, dinosaurs aren't real, whatever. Ruins the dinner. And then my mom leans over and goes, but dragons. Dragons might be real.
No way.
She's like, dragons are in the Bible. Look into it.
I love your mom.
Our
man.
mom should go to the National History Museum.
I mean, that would be a wild experience because my mom will believe anything. Like, I get that from my mom. The last article I read, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And my mom is 100% on that shit. She'll just be sending me, I don't even want to get into it. But, like, I know how, like, she's not built for the internet at all.
Yeah.
Because my mom likes to research. She likes to read. But before you would go get a book from, like, Barnes & Noble, and there was someone who looked at the book to make sure it was somewhat true. And now my mom's just on Google.
Getting caught by ads.
Oh, no, it's not good. It's not good at all.
Bro, I was with Derek Post and I saw him get caught by an ad.
Oh, yeah?
Like, we were scrolling on my phone. He goes, wait, doctors hate this trick? I swear to God.
No
He was like, what's the
fucking-
trick? What's the trick? And I was like, Derek, this is an ad. And he goes, no. I was
Yeah,
like, no,
Derek,
we're not clicking.
I get it, bro. I get it, man. I get fished almost every day. I gotta send screenshots to Tanya. I gotta send screenshots to Tanya every single day.
The group chat is just his defense against internet hackers.
Son, somebody added my email to their security email. They made a fake email that's kind of looked like mine. It was like or something like that. And they're like, they added my actual email to that. And I got this notification from Google about it. And I at least now can check if it's a real Google notification. Because used to, I would get these notifications from like Super Google at something.net.
At Gmail.
yeah, I would get those. I'd be like, God damn, it got me again.
Yeah, it's Gmail. Yeah.
So, and then I hit Tanya with that. She's like, please don't ever respond to anything. She's like, the way that you should respond to any of these concerns is just ignore all of them.
Yes.
Also, Schultz just fished the fuck out of himself. I'm gonna have to bleep. You go, hey, it looks like my email. Say it out loud.
No, I said the fake one.
It looks like yours.
Damn it, man. I'm really not built for this. I'm really not
Say your
built for
phone number.
technology.
Come on.
Yeah.
She's trying to sneak out again.
All right, David.
Thank you.
Anyway, going to the Natural History Museum with your kid is like
prancing out.
the coolest thing ever. You should definitely do that when he's like a little bit older, where they recognize shit. Because they're still at the age where they don't know what's fake and real. So like every doll that my daughter has, or every like she like loves animals, so every like fake stuffed animal, she believes is a real animal.
Oh, okay.
And then she sees my dog, and she also believes it's a real animal because it is. But she cannot discern between the two. So when we're at the Natural History Museum and you see these like beautiful recreations of like what a woolly mammoth was, she's like, that's an alive animal.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
and
cool.
she's just losing her fucking mind. I mean, it was the coolest. You get everything. Like nothing's actually made for adults. I'm realizing now. It's made for your kid to look at it and go crazy, and you just sit there smiling for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was so.
But
cool.
she's going to start asking you questions soon. And
Which
then you're gonna,
even better.
But then you're going to have to come up with answers.
Nah, you just make shit up. I have no problem making shit up.
Like, are dinosaurs real? Or are you gonna?
100% real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to lie to her?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I bet, but yeah, I think that they're real. I think they were birds.
Yeah, they have feathers and shit.
Like that's something I learned. Like, they got some good little information at some of these booths. So on islands, right, that are remote,
Like museums.
no, they really got some good information. though. They do.
It's not just pictures.
So
it's
on remote
sculpture.
islands, and the information informs like the world that we live in, right? So on these remote islands, the small animals tend to be much bigger because there's not as much natural predators there.
Okay.
Right? So there's more of an abundance of food. The big animals tend to be smaller, right? Like they have these like tiny miniature elephants that exist in some parts of the world. And they're like the size of a dog. And they get smaller because there's just not enough food for them to eat in this tiny little island. They're just walking around all day.
Insular dwarfism.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then what do they call the gigantism is what happens to the small animals. And then that's why like you'll see like Samoan women are so big. And it's just because
that's not
wait, what do you mean?
They didn't say it at the
No,
museum.
I think because there wasn't enough natural predators, so they could just eat all
this
the
you put it
taro or
together, or is
whatever.
this at the museum?
I did a little bit. I think there was like a line of thinking, and then I took it there, and I was like, look at these gigantic Samoan women. There was nothing to eat them, so they ate everything.
We need to bring Roman Reigns in
That's
here.
critical
immediately.
thinking.
They're the only Asians
We need
that are
Roman
big.
Reigns. We need Roman Reigns.
Asians are
to put you in your
small
place.
generally. You go to Asia, they're little, they're itty bitty, and then on this little island, these Samoan women are huge. It's the Honda, and I think it's because they have all the coconuts or whatever they eat at their disposal, and there's no real big natural predator.
Oh wow.
What's a Samoan's natural predator on an island before white people?
Heart disease? it's, I don't know.
Son, if you get a heart attack from eating pineapples, you don't deserve to live.
Yeah, that's crazy.
White people really brought heart attacks to the islands, huh?
Yeah.
It's amazing. We brought Fanta, and they started dying at 50 years old. Before that, they would just live in eternity. They're eating vegetables.
Yeah.
Sugar and cigarettes.
Yeah,
you guys did it.
Is that the thing?
Sugar, cigarettes, and alcohol. Yeah.
I thought that the Native Americans were on the smoking shit way before us.
I mean, tobacco, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Little peace pipe.
But y'all start putting shit in it.
What do you mean?
Like put other chemicals.
Like
just so-
menthol.
Yeah.
That's what we're putting it into. We're making Newport.
They weren't sugary enough for the blacks. Turn that shit into a hookah.
So I want my breath to smell good before killing myself.
I ain't gonna lie, menthols are amazing.
Yeah.
Like those, remember those Camel Crush cigs?
Yeah.
Oh, Ugata loves those.
Oh, just phenomenal. A way better cigarette.
I never understood that. I feel like, why do you need your cigarette to do extra things? You know?
Mark, you love sugar more than anybody on this planet.
I gave it up for Lent. I'm glad you brought this up.
Bullshit.
I gave it up for the Lord.
Ate a Reese's last night.
I threw it away.
Miles, I watched him throw it
As
away.
Miles is my
I
witness.
really did watch him
Fuck,
throw
I
it
was
away.
trying to
and
correct
I went,
him.
Yeah, don't throw those away.
Miles fished him out of the garbage.
So wait, you really gave up sugar for Lent?
For Lent, come on, dude.
And you only have to give up one thing? Or you can give up multiple?
You give up multiple things.
Wow.
I knew a guy that used to inflict pain. He said, I have nothing to give up, so I put like a little like bead in my shoe so I feel pain throughout the
So
day.
stupid. Swear to God, so
What did you give up? You're Catholic? You're a good Catholic. You gave up something?
Absolutely nothing.
Did you even do Ash Wednesday?
No.
Did you?
No.
I'm ashy enough. I just didn't put lotion on my forehead.
Ash Monday through Sunday.
Is your forehead too big? But yeah, I didn't get to do Ash Wednesday. I missed out on it. We were in Austin. I would have gone.
Yeah, I saw one dude.
Son, there's
walked up.
churches everywhere. You could have did it if you really wanted to do it.
Yeah,
No,
that's
dude.
the thing. You can make the sacrifice.
Yeah, we were doing
Take
pods.
some dirt off the fucking ground and put the shit and walk around like an
It's
idiot.
bigger than that. I just prayed. I've been praying.
Okay.
And so I just prayed to God. I asked what I should give up. He said sugar. He said, it's his will for me to get shredded for the summer. That's what God wants for me. Okay? So I'm just following the Lord.
Shout out the Lord, bro.
Yeah,
Lord
dude.
always looks out.
Did you
huh?
do Palm Sunday? I used to like that day because I
Yeah,
was just like,
you could turn it into
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
yeah, that was a cool. One.
Are you giving up anything for Lent?
No.
Come on,
But
bro.
I did see an interesting conversation. There's this guy that was, there's this show online where somebody goes and they sit in like a room full of people, right? And you sit in the middle and then
yeah.
other people can come sit across from you and then you guys debate for like 3 minutes.
20v1.
20v1.
Jubilee.
Yes. It's like the balloon popping for white nerds, right? And
Accurate. Very
do you know what I'm
accurate.
talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
right? And then so there was this guy like Sam Cedar who
Yeah.
was sitting down, and then there was this like Latino kid who sits like across from him, and he's having this argument about like the importance, I guess, of morality. And I think Sam, he was like asking where his morality comes from. I mean, we can probably bring up a clip or it doesn't matter. But it was interesting, this take that he had, like that you need a religious foundation for your morality. Otherwise you end up just justifying whatever makes you feel good. And you can't just keep doing whatever makes you feel good because you won't have good societal outcomes from that. And he was taking it to the extreme of you won't even have procreation. Like if you take it to its furthest logical conclusion, just doing whatever makes you feel good in the moment will lead to population collapse.
How? Because if you fucking, that makes you feel good, and a couple gonna get past the goalie.
Yeah, but maybe you fuck with a rubber because having a kid might not make you
Just
feel
said make you feel good.
good. I mean, right, my boy.
It's Monday Night Raw every day.
Watch this. Watch this.
Are you an atheist?
I'm a Reformed Jew.
I should say that the way that these shows are set up, I don't think he knows what everybody else's arguments are going to be used against him, but it seems like everybody else there knows what that person in the middle thinks, and they're there essentially to refute whatever their beliefs are.
Yeah, and usually they'll bring up a topic, and then whoever wants to go, they run in.
Can pop it.
Yeah.
Got it. But everybody comes there with ammunition, and that person in the beginning is not. I mean, you should be prepared to defend your beliefs, but you're going up against somebody who's already thought about every argument against you. So like one person is prepared, the other person is not. But continue.
And so we have a civil society. We have laws.
That is an interesting point that he was making right there, which is like, if laws are based on like societal cohesion, but not some like moral framework, right? And society chooses to do something that we might morally object to. If you go along with the societal decision, you could get some shitty outcomes. So the idea of having this like moral framework that informs the societal decisions, much to their chagrin at times, can sometimes protect the human experience. You know, so if society all goes, hey, we should have slavery, and then the moral opinion is, no, that's wrong to subject people to that sort of behavior, you can thwart what society wants. I mean, this would be the argument like why you want something out of simply what makes people feel good to be what drives your like moral compass.
But couldn't you say the same the other way around? Because it's like, if you have the moral framework of religion, then we'll never have like gay relations.
No, 100%. That's why this is like I'm not trying to say one is right or wrong. I'm just saying it's kind of exposing the limiting factors of both. It's like we want the moral framework of religiosity when it comes to like how we treat one another, but then there are certain hangups with that religiosity, and then we go, actually, we don't want the religiosity. So it's kind of like we're picking and choosing what we feel like is right. I think he's using the term what civil society is, but like civil society throughout history has believed in some pretty nefarious shit. So yeah, it's an interesting, I think this, keep on going. I don't want to interrupt at all, but I think it's like a really interesting discussion. Like how do you figure out what is the best version of society for the most people? And the reality is you kind of need to pick and choose from both. You know, you need a moral framework that you might object to that's brought to you by God or some higher power or something else. But you also need to break that framework so that certain people can have the rights that they deserve as part of this idea of a civil society. I don't know if you get there without both. You can't just rely on people to make the right decision, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I guess if you are an atheist or a secular person, you could argue that, oh, all of these religious dogmas just come out of basically the same exact thing.
So you're saying that the morality is internal before religion?
If God doesn't exist, which I think would be his argument, that there is no God, so therefore the rules that are laid out within Judaism, Islam, Christianity are just human beings creating what they think the social structure should be.
And then the pushback someone might give is like, yo, we've created some fucked up rules that like really hurt a lot of people. And so that's so
over time, we've gotten better. Like, and this is the best time to live ever in the history of
100%. I guess my question is, I don't have the answer. My question is like, what is the impetus for that? Like, what made us realize, was it this internal morality that we have? Like, was it kind of like erupting and we realized, hey, this is actually wrong. This goes against what we want internally, and we like turned a blind eye to it. Like what?
Well, secular people might lean on like natural law and say like there are certain things that violate what it means to be like a fruitful human. So like infringing on someone else's life or like sexual violence, stuff like that. So like we know that internally as a species that is not good. So you could come to that conclusion outside of the
But why the fuck have we done it throughout the majority of history? If we know that it's so wrong, why have we done it continually?
Like murder and things like that.
Murder, you know, assault women, all these things. Like,
why you pointing at it?
Look at fucking hockey bro. I said the same.
You about to put the gloves down?
But keep going.
Or like Alex O'Connor.
He'd be a good person to.
Right, he's great. But he popularized this idea. I forget what philosopher came up with it, but it's I think it's ethical emotivism. So basically, it's this idea that you can basically just say like, something that happens, you could say, oh, boo that thing. So like murder, you're not saying like murder is right or wrong. You're not putting like a truth value on it. You're just saying boo murder. So like your emotional
reaction to murder
to something is what justifies your moral compass. And then ideally whatever the majority feels about a specific thing then creates the social fabric for how that's enlisted into law.
So then how have we been so comfortable with murder throughout history?
Well, within our own civil society, we're not. But then when it comes to like war, that's not murder.
So there are these little spaces where murder can exist.
Right, it's justified self-defense.
And what if it's a duel?
Well, then if both parties are consenting, then it's not murder.
Oh, it's
There's no victim.
it's not murder. What would it be called? It's just killing.
Yeah.
So murder is the idea that one party is not consenting. And I guess both parties are consenting to whatever's happened. It's like a boxing match where one person ends up dying. But I guess with a duel, like the explicit purpose is to kill
Then
that
one of
person.
us will die.
Yeah.
And if they're both consenting to do it, assuming there's no coercion, then
I guess maybe there's like a... So I guess maybe Sam's position is a little bit more optimistic about the human experience. It's like, hey, we are internally good and we know the right thing to do. And when we're put in situations where we're allowed to freely access our internal morality, we will act right.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
And then, but also I have empathy for the other guy because it's like, he might subscribe to this idea like, there's been a lot of times where we don't act right and we act horribly towards one another. And then having this moral framework that's given by God or religion or whatever is a constant reminder that we cannot, fall victim to our instinctual desires in these in these moments.
But sometimes they've used that moral framework to do horrible things.
That's why this is an interesting discussion. I'm not saying that you're wrong about it, but that's why it is really interesting because there's so much evidence to us doing horrible shit. And it would be nice if there was this framework that we could look back to and be like, hey, we're doing horrible shit because God says it, or now I guess we have in America, the Constitution says it. It seems like we need something to remind us constantly and that we can do a lot of justification for horrible behavior if we want. And we can even use religion for horrible behavior too. I mean, people have done it throughout history. It's happening right now, right? They're like murking these Christians out there in Syria. And I'm sure that there's like a moral justification for that. There's not this like boo murder. They're going, nah, the man upstairs justifies this in some way. I know a lot of these shows are like based on like dunking on one another, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish there was a lot more like good faith conversations for people online where it wasn't like, I'm going to win. It's more like, what do you feel? Oh, that's an interesting perspective. And like, I feel this way. And then that person goes, I can see why that's important. Unfortunately, this dunk culture that gets a click.
Yeah, but I thought they set it up that way.
But the discussion is like,
yeah, no, this is good.
It's like, here, keep going.
You have low reproductive birth rates. I just don't see a justification to be gay outside of it just feels good.
Whoa.
Pause. So, that's okay. So it's an interesting feeling. Is like usually I think with at least in America, the feeling of hey, this feels good, and this is good that we're talking about this, Miles. That is that like this feels good to go like.
We
kiss
should
your
let
friend.
the experts speak on this.
Yeah.
It's like
If someone's in the room, there's really no reason for us to talk. But he goes. It's not like it's right or wrong. It's just I don't feel a justification for it outside of this feels good. So his. I guess argument hinges on this idea, just because something feels good doesn't mean that it is best for society. And he makes more wild shit.
Okay, so you're okay with a 45-year-old dad with a 19-year-old daughter as well?
He came ready. Right? This guy came ready, right? And this, I think we've even had this discussion here, which is like, okay, you have people that are related having sex without the fear of reproduction. If they are consensual, is that okay? It feels both good to both of them. They're adults, they're consenting, and it doesn't, I guess, negatively impact society. Should we restrict their ability to do that?
Yeah, it's a fire philosophical debate.
Yes.
Like the first day in my philosophy class in like college, this was one of the questions they brought up.
This is what was it?
With Dr. Small.
Yeah, Dr. Small.
Same-sex incest.
Yeah.
Is that unethical?
Because same-sex removes the fear of producing a child that has some sort of issue.
So what's the problem?
So what's the problem? Now, this is where we go back to the O'Connor argument where it's just like you have this innate feeling of boo, that's bad. What does that come from? Is that
because we've been told incest is bad?
Well, that's the thing. Have we been told it, or do we innately feel it's wrong? Like, is it built into our personal constitution?
And you could argue on a biological basis that humans feel that it's wrong.
Why?
Like through like pheromones. So like a person would be more attracted to a dissimilar person than to a relative based off of pheromone levels and stuff like that.
Okay.
So like for the reproductive health of a society, most people would go to diversify their genetic lineage.
But then you look at throughout history and probably
except these guys.
I mean, yeah, Dove's entire family looks identical to one another. So there's been a lot of inbreeding in his family, and it's kind of worked out for them. Maybe others it hasn't, right?
Exactly.
But there's a lot of similarity. I mean, like,
yeah, but they all have asthma, so it's like the good with the bad.
Yeah.
How do you have asthma with that nose, right? You feel like you could get some oxygen in there.
It's the bend. It's the air.
It gets clogged right there.
Not the part.
It's not aerodynamic.
Yeah, we need to hire a contractor. You got to straighten it out. Just get a smooth flow.
Oh, that's why they all get nose jobs. That makes sense.
It's a deviated septum. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting discussion. Like, it's cool to chew on these things. I don't know. What is your take on it? What do you think determines our decision making of right and wrong?
I think there is something innate. I do think that there's like a biological natural law. And like as someone that believes in God, I would like to believe that there is some type of like order that God put into the universe that people can come to know without God.
Yeah.
But then additionally, if you come to follow some type of faith background, that those things are also instilled.
Okay.
But then I also think that those things get like antiquated over time. Like the Levitical laws of like eating pork and stuff probably existed in a specific time frame where pork was very dangerous.
Right.
And then as time has gone on, it's no longer as dangerous. Sorry, Jews and Muslims.
Yeah.
And Ethiopian Christians, apparently.
Oh,
also.
really?
Yeah. There's like a bunch of people that don't eat pork.
Wow.
Which you start to look at how many people don't eat pork.
You're like, why are we eating this shit?
Yeah, maybe they're onto something. But then I think like, I don't know, I think all the faiths that have persisted probably have a lot of roots of the same things that help society prosper.
So you could make the argument that reinforcing those beliefs might be the best thing for society at large.
To a point. But we also live in a non-theocratic society.
Yes.
So like as someone that lives in America that likes religious freedom, I also don't want to be bound by the mandates of any specific religion.
Yes.
Whether that be Islam or Christianity or Judaism.
Right.
So
because it infringes on your personal freedom.
Right. Like it would be nice if there was a Catholic country that existed that had some type of Catholic theocratic laws that if I so chose, I could move to.
Yeah.
But I like to live in America where people can practice freely whatever they want.
I do as well. But he was looking at like, I think he's chalking this up to like a leftist issue, and maybe he has issues with leftist ideology, and it's easy to like, reconstruct an argument afterwards and like place it on top of it. But he's pointing at, birth rates declining. And he's trying to say, if you see more like left-leaning ideology in countries, you see birth rates declining. And he's going, okay, is this a like repercussion of this way of thinking where you just do what makes you feel good? Now, maybe you have less people and maybe society collapses hundreds of years now, who fucking knows? But I don't know if we build society simply to create more people.
Right.
Yes, there's a way to make society so we just make more people and it is more beneficial for that specific thing. But I don't know if that's the goal of civil society.
Right. I could also argue this is, I think, a slippery slope argument. Yeah. Like it seems fallacious on its onset to say like the logical conclusion of XYZ philosophy is decimation of a population. Because you could say the inverse, that, the logical conclusion of like a hyper-religious society is going to be like oppression of women and gay people getting murdered.
Right. You can make the exact same argument in, just an oppressive way.
So to me, I'm like, it seems like kind of misguided. I don't know if that was intention, but like I think it's framed poorly.
Yeah.
You could also make the point that like is a declining birth rate or a increasing birth rate like positive for society? We don't know. If it declines, does society actually get better? There's more resources per person. Like, does utopia happen because there's more resources per person, or is it an increasing birth rate? Does that actually make the earth die faster? Like we don't actually know.
I've always wondered that. I'm like, maybe this is just the order of things and we're just like leveling out.
Yeah.
Like we used to put so much emphasis on have as many kids as possible.
Yeah.
And now like look at the little resources we all have and everybody's complaining. So maybe this is just like, hey, balancing itself out.
Yeah, it's a leveling, a natural leveling.
Which even that idea, I think, comes out of like agrarian societies and shit. And this is from someone whose parents had 7 kids.
Yeah.
That like, I'm pretty sure even prior to like pastoralist and agrarian societies, people were having like 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah.
Like women were having like their periods like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
So
they had it way later?
Yeah, they were having it later. And so like in hunter-gatherer societies, they still have them later. And then typically women would breastfeed the whole time. They were emitting like prolactin and estrogen so that they weren't able to get pregnant for longer periods of time. So
it would separate the kids. That's an important component to talk about. Like when a woman is breastfeeding, it's much harder for her to get pregnant. So if you're breastfeeding for 2, 3, 4 years, then you have a 5-year gap in between kids. And if you had 4 kids, think about that. That's 20 years of baby making. So if you start at 18, you're done at 38.
And you might have 3, 4 kids.
You have 3 or 4 kids. That's assuming every pregnancy went to term. Like, that's a really interesting point.
And I talked to an anthropologist that said, like, it's actually potentially more beneficial for children to have more individualized time with the parent. So, like, having multiple kids really close together could be detrimental for the development of kids, that giving them more undisputed attention for like 4 or 5 years is actually better for like the survival of the species.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
And this is in hunter-gatherer societies where people are just like eating off the land and living off the land.
Well, 100%. I mean, like you have a kid right now, you know how much attention they require. Like they're walking around, you need to walk with them every single second, every day. If you have one that's 5 and they kind of know the rules where they should go, they can almost like help out a little bit with the little kid. They're not looking after them, but they can teach the kid something like that. You can ask them to hand you something and you can look after the other kid. But looking after 2 kids that are under 3 years old, I mean, it takes a village shit. Like that's where you need grandma. Yeah. Or you need grandpa. You need somebody else looking after those kids. It takes a lot of attention. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think about this question a lot, like what does it mean to actually be human and what is best for humans? And I think people go back and they go like, oh, like 2,000 years ago. But like that's still like a very recent development in humanity. So like, is it potentially we go 10,000 years ago? Like Homo sapiens have been walking around the way we are for like what, 100,000 years? Yeah. So like 2,000 years is just a blip. So like, have humans existed for most of the time in the way that we were 10,000 years ago, living, walking around, having sex, eating a mango? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, is that what most of humanity has been? So then when it comes to like moral frameworks, like should we be trying to go back farther than we're really looking at it? You know what I mean?
Wait, explain that.
Like, should we be going back to like, okay, what are humans really supposed to be doing? Okay. So like, oh, we should have a bunch of kids because that's what people did 1,000 years ago. Well, it's like, well, actually, that is a blip in the overall scope where for most of human history, people were having 3 or 4.
Yeah, once we started farming, then we start going, let's have 7.
So you have societal explosion, but also you need people to work the farms.
Work the land.
So it's like
your retirement policy almost. You have 1 kid. How are they going to take care of their family and you and your wife when you're too old to do anything? You have 7. You can mitigate that risk across 7 different bodies.
That's the like big issue with the declining birth rate in certain countries. They have aging populations that no one is there to take care of.
This is like Japan, right?
South Korea and certain other countries.
I mean, every developed country, basically.
Yeah. I mean, America is going to run into it in the next like 50 to 80 years.
So again, the concern is that there won't be enough, or that the burden of the parents and the grandparents will be on the grandkids, and they just won't have enough resources to protect, provide.
Yeah, and they also won't have enough time for themselves to benefit society. They're spending all their time taking care of an older
That's
population.
right. They have to develop a business. They have to create something. They have to.
See, Cuomo was just trying to help out.
Say again. What did he say?
Cuomo was just trying to help out.
Wait, what was Cuomo doing?
How he put all the fucking old people in the
he's like, we can't pay for these motherfuckers anymore.
Acceleration's trying to speed it up.
He's trying to run for mayor now.
Oh yeah.
You think he's got it?
I mean, on name alone, he'll get the push to the mayor.
That is the thing about politics.
We forget pretty quickly. We forget pretty quick.
And like, there are certain names, especially in, I mean, at least New York, but definitely in politics in general, where like people go, oh, they're familiar with the name. Like you see this person, you know what you're going to get. And then you see some other random human being. And if he doesn't create enough buzz, if he doesn't have like superstar power, like Trump had superstar power, so he could kind of muscle his way in. But if it's Cuomo versus random name person that used to be the comptroller of the city, Cuomo's blowing that guy out. Yeah. So he would run against Adams.
Yeah. Oh wait, is Adams even still able to
run? Of course, that's the boy.
Every other week he's getting arrested.
I saw him at Zero Bond fingering chicks the other day. Shout out Adams, bro. That's the boy.
Going out.
He
ran
likes
into
to party,
him at
son.
fucking Record Room in Queens.
Nice.
Is he married?
Say what? He's Batman, son. What are you talking about? Like, this is what we need. New York needs a Mayor Adams. I'm tired of these stuffy cornballs.
He likes to, talk to his constituents.
Be with the people.
Yeah. Listen, he's acutely aware of what the women in New York City do. You know what I mean, would you not? If you're not married, you're the mayor of New York, you're not going to dip in some strains every once in a while?
Only 100,000 from the street. Like, only the fuck? God damn.
Nah, if he came back with a new hairline, I'd be like, this motherfucker is compromised.
It's funny. We want our presidents to be married. Mayors,
I want you outside. I think we need Adams on the pod, bro. Because I don't know if we can let Cuomo be the mayor, bro.
I can set that up.
I think we need Adams on the pod.
That'll be fire.
I think we need that. We need to have a real talk with him.
What would you ask him? What do you want to know?
He might be a little afraid to come up here, though.
Nah, that motherfucker got no fear. He got I was a police officer energy.
Yeah.
Because he was.
Because that's what I'm saying. But they have a different confidence. And no, I don't think he's scared.
Yeah, they got that confidence that they can do whatever and get away with the confidence. Hey, bro, they got a lot of that confidence.
He's away with it. Yeah. We're not talking about it no more.
Crazy.
What did he even do? I don't know.
Do you know what he did? I don't. Does anyone know?
Isn't that
No
crazy?
one knows.
Don't call me out.
This is the beauty of headlines, bro. It really is the beauty of headlines. It's like
It's like kickbacks to open some Turkish like.
I think it was
building or some shit like
construction
that.
for the Turkish embassy
There
or
you
whatever
go.
like that. And it's like low key, build your embassy, bro. Like
Couple free flights.
2 counts of
100,000.
solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national and bribery.
Yep.
That's how you feel about that?
Come on, bro. Like what is like how
Well,
is
politicians not doing that? That's the question.
Yeah.
So here's the concern. The concern I imagine is this. If you're a foreign country, right? And you see a rising star in the American political system. If I'm a foreign country that I want any influence in American politics at all, and that is advantageous to foreign countries, obviously, you get in bed with these guys when they're real young, like before they're even mayor of New York. And you got a little thing on them that you're not really going to talk about, and they're not really sweating because they got these, political dreams, and hopefully they get to be president one day. I mean, if you're going to be mayor of New York, there's no way you're not thinking I could be president.
Oh, yeah.
It's the next logical step, right? So if you're Turkey, if you're China, if you're Qatar, if you're anything, right? You go, all right, let's see if we can just, talk to that guy. Let's throw a little money in his campaign. Let's do whatever we can. And then if he does rise to this political superstardom, he does become president, then that's a phone call away. And you're like, listen, we would really appreciate it if you don't make these tariffs too crazy. We're boys. Remember back in the day, we gave you that $100,000? And that's your way of going, we don't want to make this a big problem.
Yeah. It's like getting it on the seed round.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm another country, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at every young political star potentially, and I'm going, I love what you're doing. How can I help? Not even trying to bribe you. How can I help? And then, becoming friends.
Yeah.
Wow. So we can let him be mayor. He can't be president. That's crazy. He's already bribed by the Turks, right? For $100,000. But mayor, I like. Mayor, I like.
Some would say our president is, Russian asset. I don't know. Some people say.
Is he still a Russian?
Debunked.
I think that's what Salger said.
We trust the last person that spoke to us.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Russian. Who's he supported by now? It's actually, it was it. No. Trump is like, stop it. Son, this guy, Ian Carroll, went on Rogan with my mustache and talked so much shit about how Israel is influencing, like it was like Epstein shit. It feels like there was no new conspiracies that were brought up. It was like the same conspiracies we've heard for the last decade. Yeah. But Twitter...
Ones.
But what's it?
It's big, juicy ones. That's the one that's still not fucking answered.
We never get an
9/11.
answer to that, bro.
9/11? We should get an answer to that.
We know who did 9/11. Yo, Dove, y'all gotta do. I know
Ian Carroll doing some nasty work. Y'all gotta check that motherfucker out, bro.
Son, when black people are starting to be like, nah, that motherfucker's spitting. Yeah. Jews, you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Okay? Jews made the little NAACP or whatever, thinking black people gonna ride from.
So we had this for a while, but Ian's cooking right now. So,
what is he doing?
Call somebody.
What is he actually doing?
What do you mean?
Like, what is he saying? Like, what is going so viral on Twitter specifically? Because I just see Twitter and it's like, it's back to like everything is the Jews' fault. So, but what specifically is he outing? What connections is he making?
I don't know all the specifics, but the thing that people just keep trying, they can't seem to separate is that he's saying the Israeli government, and everybody ties that by anti-Semitism, and he's talking about all Jews. And I don't think he's doing that.
Right.
But that's the way it seems like online.
Right.
That's the only thing that I don't like, because it's like he's really clear and just being like, oh, it's the Israeli government that's doing all these things. And then everybody's like, oh, anti-Semitism. He's saying Jews caused
Maybe
9/11.
because the rest of the internet's just tying the two together.
Yeah, but he's not saying that.
Sorry.
So this is the tricky thing, is like, you should be able to criticize every single government on the planet.
Yeah,
you should be able to criticize
America.
Israel, you should be able to criticize Russia, you should be able to criticize China, whatever the fuck you want, you should be able to criticize. Now, it is tricky, right? Because Jews in America and Jews around the world naturally are very supportive of Israel. So sometimes that support gets conflated. You're like, are you supporting that country because they've allegedly done those things? Or are you supporting them because you like a Jewish homeland and you feel safe there and you've been reading all the books forever and you just want that place to exist? So I think that there is a separation there. But if you're somebody who hates Jews and you hear that rhetoric from Ian, you're going, see, this is why I hate them, because of all this shit.
I can see that.
Right? So it is but the thing that I've seen, like, kind of explode the most is this idea of like foreign influence, right? Which is a very reasonable discussion to have. Like, if you feel like other countries are influencing America, we should be able to look into that influence and be critical of that influence, right? Now, that's not to say that we shouldn't take foreign investment. Give us all your fucking money. Do you know what I mean? If Saudi Arabia wants to buy $1 trillion worth of planes that don't work, absolutely, please. We love to sell you planes that don't work. We're literally selling planes with the technology that doesn't make them as good as they can be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like go-karts?
Son, we put the governor on that shit. That plane goes 100 miles per hour. Because in case you act up, we need a 200 mile per hour plane to take you out.
Oh, that's fire.
I believe that's the understanding.
The F-35.
Sick as hell.
We're not selling them. We're not selling the F-35s. We're not giving anybody F. But I think you give them like F-16s. You give them the top end shit. We're not giving nobody those F-35s.
Hold on.
Sound like you know something that we don't know.
We have plenty of people that have F-35s. We don't. Other countries don't have the F-22, I believe. But F-35, UK has it. I think Israel has it.
I think.
And he led with
I like how he started in the UK.
You can't put it first.
I don't think.
Mark, look it up right now. I guarantee
I don't think-
sandwich
I
at
don't think-
least 6 countries have it.
Yes, the United States does sell F-35 Lightning II fighter jets to other countries.
Don't do that to me, Mark. Yeah.
I mean, Dove is a little autistic about the planes. He loves the fucking planes, so I trust him with this kind of information. But I think, so here's, I think, the tricky thing, right, is like, it looks like there's this influence, right? And a lot of people in America, like, they make this big concern. How do I even say that? Because I don't want to discredit people who care about what's happening in Gaza. Like, I think there are definitely a lot of people in America around the world care about what's happening in Gaza. And they're like, hey, this feels excessive, and they don't want people dying, right? I also think there have been plenty of other times throughout history where like America has been responsible for the murder of tons of people, 1 million people in Iraq. And like, yes, there are Americans who are concerned. They're like, this is fucked up. We don't like this. This is horrible. But there's a little part of Americans who are like, yeah, but the gas is like $2.50, right? So I think there's a little part of this discussion which is kind of missing, which is like, what are we getting out of this tragedy? We're supporting this tragedy, but what do we get? And I think it's on like Israel, to be honest, to explain if we're best friends, if you're our closest ally or whatever it is, like it's up to you to explain to Americans, if you want to continue to get that support, why we're so close. What is the information? Now, I hear a lot of people when I ask, they're like, we get, what is it called? Intelligence. Yeah. Okay. So intelligence can essentially mean like, hey, there's this terror attack that's going to happen. You guys should do something about it. Let's operate in best case scenario, right? And I know there's already people on the internet like, oh, you're gonna just bootlicking the Jews or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just saying best case scenario. They've given us information to thwart 20 more 9/11s, let's say. Because I doubt there's one planned attack on America, right? There's probably a bunch. Yeah. So let's say they've given us information that stops 20 others. They can't tell America, by the way, we gave you the information to stop these attacks because now you're going to give up those people that are embedded in those like terror institutions or even the country's governments that are planning these attacks. So now you remove your intelligence. So there is a version where America's giving them this amount of money a year and we're getting intelligence that is valuable to us, but you can't communicate that to American people. Okay, well, you need to figure out something else to communicate.
Even if they did communicate it, I feel like people wouldn't believe it.
That's
like,
also
imagine
possible.
they put out like, you know, a news headline, the Israel Times, and they're like, Israel stops terror attack in America. Yeah. Everyone be like, yeah, all right, of course you did.
Because now you're just saying it because it didn't happen. But if you are, because here's the reality of the world, like
They
once
control the media.
but this is the reality of the world. It's like once something happens, like the government is always going to be a reflection of the people, right? So like if there isn't support for something in America, you will not get money eventually.
Wait.
There's waning support in America for the war in Ukraine.
Okay.
Right? Americans are kind of suffering. They feel like they don't have money here. And they were like, why are we sending billions of dollars over to this other country? I don't really know anybody from there. I don't really understand how it's an existential threat to us personally. Like, I don't get it, and I can't afford eggs. So, like, if any billions of dollars is going anywhere, send it over here first. I think that's the feeling a lot of Americans have. I think if the economy was absolutely flourishing, we don't give a fuck about U.S. aid. We don't care about the training plays they're doing in the Philippines or whatever the fuck they want. But in America, when times are tough, naturally, and I think there's a very reasonable response, we start looking at where the money's going. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not spending a lot of time with your dad, but your dad's out here doing all this other shit, you have some resentment towards all those other things your dad's doing. You want to hang out. So I think in those moments, it's up to those countries that are getting help to show us the value that they're bringing to us. You have to find a way to communicate that value. Otherwise, Americans start feeling taken advantage of. Now, we might not be. And you have to leave that space open. I think people are like, they're determined that they know exactly what's going on. There's a little bit of an addiction to conspiracy in general. They're very exciting and fun. They make people feel really smart. Like, you know something nobody else knows. That's the quickest way to feeling smart. But I think there is a burden on any country that we're giving money to. It could be Ukraine. It could be Israel. It could be fucking any other country. There's a burden on them to understand what they're bringing. I think partially that was the mineral deal they were doing with the Ukraine. I think it was like, listen, you need to give us a reason why we should continue giving you weapons. Yeah. And that would have maybe pacified the American people. We'd be like, oh yeah, we got all their minerals. So honestly, we're getting shit cheap and it's actually beneficial to us. Yeah. So I think Israel need to figure out what that mineral shit is. Yeah. And you have to do that for a geopolitical reason, because you have to convince the American public it is worth sending our money that could make our eggs cheaper or whatever we believe. It doesn't matter if that's reality, it's perception. What do we believe to be true? Yeah. You got to figure that out, because it feels like in America right now that support is low.
And when the economy's tough, the ideological wars don't go as far.
Can you explain? That is great.
Like, if things are expensive and I'm having a hard time buying food or supporting my family, I don't give a fuck about communism.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care about terrorism. I don't care about none of these
supporting
other things.
Democracy. You're like, who cares? Like,
that is a place of privilege where we could worry about your issues over there.
My house is communist. We're all splitting one omelet. You know what I mean? Like, this is hard. Like,
fact.
I'm focused on the communism here, not over in like Vietnam or whatever. Like, let's do this.
100%.
And so the second the economy gets tight, everyone's like, all right, where's the money going?
Yeah.
I do think there's some of the frustration in Gaza is that, and maybe there is, and I'm missing it, but I don't see enough Jewish people speaking out against what the Israel government is doing. Like, I'm not subscribed to like, I don't know, one of your institutions.
Haaretz or something like that. Yeah.
But I just don't see it. So it's like, it seems like all Jewish people are in support of what's going on over there because no one's speaking out against it.
That is, and then, that's an interesting point too, which is like, because even within Israel, it's quite divided, right? So, but that is an interesting thing where it's like, if you feel under attack, your knee-jerk reaction is to support the side that you believe is defending you. Yeah. But by doing that, you're supporting the actions of the government, which a lot of Americans feel is like, okay, you did the job, and now you're twisting the knife.
Like, now it feels like it's wrong. Like,
now it feels like it's going too far.
Yeah.
But then you're asking Jews to like defend everything ever.
But here's the other thing. You can make the argument.
Oh no, you could. It could be a slippery slope, and I can understand why they wouldn't want to be like, all right, we're doing this bad, and then we're like, see, and now what else are you doing bad? I can see that.
Morally prove myself to every person that I meet ever.
But I think Americans, we did it once we realized, hey, there's no weapons of mass destruction. We are here for no reason. This is wrong. Let's stop this. I think we called ourselves out on that shit.
Have you apologized?
You did that? Yeah, Al, did you publicly post it?
I feel like I haven't heard you say anything about
I put a post up. I black squared it and shit like that.
Say sorry to the Iraqi people right now.
We were like, it took us a while. we definitely got our natural resources.
It took us to March 2025.
But we were calling out, we were saying like, this war is wrong. Like, I think the people were saying the war was wrong once we found out there weren't weapons of mass destruction.
Well, here's the thing.
You don't think so?
There's a lot of people that aren't.
There's
a lot of people that aren't going to say it's wrong. But another thing that we got to decide is like, we can't get caught up in right and wrong. We have to get caught up in perception. Perception is reality. Mm-hmm. And this is important for countries to understand. The perception of Zelensky coming into the Oval Office, not wearing a suit, doing like a vague threat about it could affect you guys, and like being contentious with Trump and JD Vance, the perception to Americans, most of who aren't really informed about the conflict, was like, hold up, son, I gave you $400 billion and this is how you talk in our White House? Cut the money off. Now, there is much more nuance to what's happening in that war. There's much more nuance to what's going on in the world. Like, if you talk to people that are from the countries that are around Russia, they get taught every single day in school, like, Russia still thinks Estonia is part of Russia. You know, all those countries, like, we might be Russia one day. So, like, they have a different perspective. But it's up to those countries to understand American perspective. It don't matter what your reality is. It matters if you want the money and you want the support, you have to meet us where our reality is. You know, we get into these discussions all the time in American culture where it's like about like the trans debate or something like that. And, you know, somebody goes, I don't want trans women competing against women in sports. And a lot of like left-leaning people will be like, oh, that's a red herring and that's not actually a real issue. It's like, okay, that might be what you feel, but you're not addressing what these people feel. It's like you do something to upset your wife and then she's like, that upset me. And you're going, but that's not a real issue. Does that work ever? No.
But I paid for the apartment.
Exactly. They don't want to hear that shit, right? You have to meet people where they feel. So a lot of times people get caught up in these like logical arguments and like, oh, but America actually did this, which is just as bad as that. Yeah, that might be true and factually true. But the reality of what we live in is the perception is off, and you need perception on your side for the support that's going to allow you to continue, I guess, doing whatever you want to do for your country.
But so then you're battling the emotional volatility of a populace rather than the logical coherence of the leadership.
Welcome to geopolitics, my boy.
But then you would hope, like, okay, we're dealing with like the logical leaders that are going to support what's best for their people, despite them not knowing what's best for them.
I don't think we're dealing with. I think they're also reacting to the emotional volatility in their countries. Like, I don't think it's surprising that like once this war starts ratcheting up, Putin starts going back to the Orthodox Church and talks about like how important it is to be in church, and church is the foundation of family, when apparently before that, you never even saw him in one. So if you're gearing up for war, you want God on your side. You know, like he's making emotional moves. Trump makes emotional moves all the time. People don't trust the food. Put the guy who says the food is bad as the leader of the food. That's what we did in America, right? Like, we don't trust the alphabet agencies. Put the chick who says that these alphabet agencies are not working in the best interest of the people in charge of the alphabet agencies. Like, these are emotional reactions. Whether or not they'll be fruitful, we're going to see. But you have to be aware of what people are thinking, and you can't just go, you guys are stupid. It's like, all right, keep saying that. You're going to lose money. I think that's like the skill of a leader. It's like, I mean, this is a movie, so it's probably complete bullshit, but and I've used this reference before, but I forget who came over. It was like the King of England to like get support for the Americans. Like the King came over and like, I think it was, was it FDR told him, is like, yo, you gotta, if you want Americans who are German immigrants and Italian immigrants to go to war against Germany and Italy, to go to war against their relatives, their cousins, their uncles, you need to convince us that you are like us, that you are more like us than they are. You need to eat the hot dog. You need to wear some regular shit and eat a hot dog. Don't act like some king that we fought wars to get away from. You need to feel like you're one of the boys. So you got this king who had eaten with a knife and fork and perfect manners going, all right, let me scarf a hot dog. And that's how simple Americans were. We're like, that motherfucker, we gotta die for him.
he likes glizzy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, he didn't eat it this way. So that shit with the corn on Breakfast Club.
The long way.
That should have me dying, bro.
So the funniest comment somebody said, someone said, yeah, I bet you eat the Snickers from the top down so you feel the veins.
Damn.
That's good.
That is how I eat it, though. That's great. How else do you eat a Snickers, bro?
So what do you think we do in these type of situations? Like, yeah, what do you do when there's like waning sentiment? Put yourself in the shoes of another government. You can put yourself in the shoes of Israel, Ukraine, whatever.
Well, it depends what cards you have to know how to play.
For example, like,
I mean, if you're China, then all of a sudden your cards open up way more.
Because why you have
control a little TikTok and control not necessarily how people feel from the messaging you tell them, but rather what you subvert into the content of the app.
Okay, what about America?
Well, no, real quick, just on this one, this is really interesting. It's like, right now there's this distrust of media, right? Like, if there's any reporting that's like protecting Israel, right? The knee-jerk reaction from people who are critical of Israel is, yeah, but they control the media, right? So you can write it off immediately. The subversive nature of TikTok is that it's everyday people in their bathroom just saying some shit, and it pops up on your phone. You don't see some news ticker. It in a weird way, we have more trust. That's fucking... So like, the way you subvert the narrative is you have regular people echoing the sentiments instead of the professional journalists, which now we don't have the same faith in.
Or what America did in the Cold War with modern art, or with rock music, and inserting.
What was the rock music thing?
Just putting it into Soviet countries, basically, putting it into the Soviet Union, sneaking in albums and sneaking in Western influence, or then even just promoting modern art and look at how free we are. And you're able to then win this culture war and the soft power. People are like, man, America's pretty cool. We're not as rigid as over here. They're not totalitarian. And so with that, you can change the hearts of people and then get them to not fight as fervently for the country that they're technically native.
Israel, y'all need 2 more seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Stat.
Yes.
Larry David, get off the couch and get back to cooking. That might be the only thing that could pacify Americans.
Yeah.
A 22-episode season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, we'd be like, what's the deal with Hamas?
What if we bring back Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. But we do need Israeli soft power. You know what I mean? If the Israelis really want to win it over, because we got Jews in America, but we're just they're American, Larry David, he's American, right?
Yeah.
Seinfeld's American. You need an Israeli,
That's interesting. There is no relationship between America and Israel in terms of the Israeli people. Our idea of Jews is the American version of them, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of just the Ashkenazi New York. We don't really know Jews outside of white New York Jews.
Yeah.
We have no idea of the Dove Jews, the African ones. There's no concept of that in America, and I wonder if that skews the perspective of what's happening in Israel. You think it's just these white people that look like Seinfeld in Israel, right? When it's a bunch of darkies like Dove.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
but what is the perspective of an Israeli to an American? What is that?
Hasid.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I feel yeah. And I don't know if it's propaganda or what, but you see Hasidic Jews pop up on Twitter or on Instagram, and they're just killing them, just going off in the comments.
I mean, they're fun to make fun of.
The dude that would come over here sometimes. He would sit at the table.
Yeah. Yeah, our handler. Yeah, we have. Yeah. Israel sent us a handler.
Yeah, our APAC delegate.
Exactly.
That is what I think.
We got an APAC delegate. Yeah, somehow this guy with a fucking yarmulke kept walking into the studio. They're good.
Yeah.
He got assigned from the Israeli government. He's go look at these guys. They call each other gay.
Yeah.
Fuck. I can't get Amsterdam or something. No, you go over there.
Dude, how lucky is he? He could be in a bomb shelter. No, he's making gay jokes with us on Flagrant once a week.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need to look into this guy.
Yeah, dude.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Talk about one of the most healthy sources of protein on earth, schmegma.
No, that's not what it says. That's not what it says.
Oh, wait, what does it say? Something different? But I thought schmegma, they said, had the most high protein content.
I don't think that's
you
true.
know, you got that shit.
Yeah, my shit does not taste
You just, what is it? Wait, we were talking about the flavor. We just said it had a lot of protein in it.
No, it doesn't.
Just because it tastes bad doesn't mean it's not filled with protein, Mark.
No, it doesn't.
Are you taking schmeg shots to the face?
No. That's
ridiculous,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Nah.
crazy.
What do you do with that? Do you collect and put it into a mason jar?
No. You just gotta get rid of it. You gotta. I also don't have it. No, I don't have it at all. What are you talking about?
Ash Wednesday.
What the hell?
You
That's
got a little
sacrilegious.
smeggy ass Wednesday,
God,
bro.
smite this man.
Yo, shout out
Smite
to
this
Catholics,
man.
bro. Come on now. Nah, but for real, the low key, the most healthiest source of protein is bone broth. We could also call
No, don't.
no, it's not that at all. Bone broth. It's natural, loaded with nutrients. It's got gelatin and amino acids to support digestion, collagen to help repair cartilage and support flexibility, immune health, and much more.
It sounds like smegma. It's just chicken. It's
No,
chicken
this
bone
is
broth.
chicken bone broth right here, dude.
Okay.
This is cock bone broth.
Okay, no, don't.
It's cock bone broth.
It's not
right?
good because it actually tastes good. And it's a good
What is
source of
that? Is that
protein.
not cock bone broth?
But no one says that.
It's one of the most delicious ways to drink bone broth is with kettle and fire.
I feel like no one's gonna want to buy it if you make it
What do you
sound.
mean? Are you kidding me? I'd drink this shit right to the face right now. Like you,
Do it.
14 years old.
You don't think your bone broth tastes good, man?
Yo, your bone broth tastes nothing like kettle and fire. What I'm trying to say is using real high quality bones, 100% grass-fed beef bones and organic free-range chicken bones. This is the best tasting bone broth, hands down. I bet you were hands down. They don't use anything weird, nothing artificial, simple ingredients, okay? Remove a couple ribs. This is a company that doesn't sacrifice a single standard. If you want to add some protein into your favorite dishes, Kettle and Fire is a perfect way to sneak it in. Or if you're fasting, I heard the boys are going to do a little fasting. Is that true?
Yep. I'm gonna do. I think what 2-3 days.
2 is cool.
2-3.
2 is cool.
Yeah. Hold on. So you're gonna do complete food fast, but you're gonna be on the bone broth.
Do it probably like one of these a day.
One of these a day.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you're gonna do
No,
one of
I
these.
thought you could just go drink as many of those as you want.
Yeah, because it's bone broth.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but then it's like
You know what he's doing? He knows you're going to drink from here. He's going from the tap. And I feel like
What do you
he's
mean
going to
the tap?
have
What do you
an
mean the
unfair
tap?
advantage.
What do you
You're going
know?
from the tap.
no.
I feel like you're going from the
I'm
tap.
gonna do kettle and fire.
I feel like you're going to do a back handspring. And you're going to shoot it right into the mouth in a back handspring.
Downward dog. Yeah.
He's just gonna take a butter knife, just
Listen, point is, stop. This is kettle and fire, guys. This is kettle and fire, okay? If you want to add some protein into your favorite dishes, kettle and fire is perfect way to sneak it in. Or if you're fasting like the boys, little bone broth goes a long way. A long way. Long way.
I did 3 days.
You're going to do 3 days?
I did 3 days.
All right, so we just got 3 days, no eating. But I need y'all to do that like after we record the pods. I don't want to have you have, low energy, whatever.
No.
Like,
It's actually the exact opposite.
you get more energy?
when you're on a fast. And once you get into autophagy, you actually get more energy. Because now, if you go back to the biological times, you're trying to find animals. You know what I mean?
So you're more focused.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna be a cranky bitch. I'm gonna let you know that.
I wouldn't survive.
Yo, if y'all want to join them, head over to kettleandfire.com/flagrant, okay? Use our code flagrant at checkout to get 20% off your first order. Trust me, I'm telling you right now. Bone broth is going to change your life. Yeah, I might get up in that fast, bro.
You should.
3 days is crazy because my metabolism works way different than you guys.
No, it's the same.
I poop 3 times a day. You guys poop once a day.
Because you eat so much.
Yes.
Well, my point is if I poop 3 times faster, then I metabolize 3 times faster. Therefore, I should do 1 day, and that's equivalent to 3 for you.
No, you're eating so much food. Your body's constantly in a state of
That's not
inflammation.
true.
You're constantly digesting food. Your brain's getting smaller. It's shrinking.
Yeah.
kettleandfire.com/flagrant. Okay, you get 20% off, okay? That is kettleandfire.com/flagrant. The code is flagrant for 20% off. Now let's get back to the show. All right, guys, this podcast is also brought to you by Squarespace. Listen, if you have a business and you do not have a website, you do not have a real business. It is that simple. I cannot trust you. If somebody hands me a card and there's no website to go look at, they have some fugazi shit and they're trying to steal my money, okay? If you have a business, you need a website, and Squarespace is going to make that incredibly easy for you. They make it easy to create a beautiful website to help you engage with your audience and sell anything from products to content to time, and do it all on your own terms. They have Squarespace Payments, the easiest way to manage your payments in one place with Squarespace. Onboarding is fast and simple. Get started in just a few clicks and start receiving payments right away. Plus, give your customers more ways to pay with popular payment methods like Klarna, ACH, Direct Debit, Apple Pay, Afterpay, and ClearPay. Also, Design Intelligence from Squarespace uses cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. Design Intelligence empowers anyone to build a beautiful, more personalized website tailored to their unique needs and craft a bespoke digital identity to use across one's entire online presence. And last but not least, Squarespace can help you with SEO. Every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions and auto-generated sitemap. More so, you show up more often to more people in global search engine results. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial when you're ready to launch. Squarespace.com/flagrant to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now let's get back to the show. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, perception is important. There are so many people online who will give you every single statistical fact, and they'll be like, yeah, but America did this even worse in this time. Yeah. Do you think we care about that? Mm-hmm. We don't care about that. You are dealing with emotional people. There's that Jonathan Haidt book. It's called The Righteous Mind.
Yep.
Read that shit. Okay? Because you're trying to logically address what people are going through. And just like arguing with your wife, that shit ain't going to work.
Yeah. You can't reason people out of a position they didn't reason into.
In the first place.
Yeah.
100%. We are your wife. You got to treat everybody like your wife.
Yeah.
Especially on the geopolitical stage. You could do the strongman shit, but then you got to be able to bang out. Not everybody is strong.
Yeah, people try to do this during George Floyd and shit.
What they do?
Where they were like, oh, black people, actually technically cops kill you guys the same as other people.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that make you feel?
Like shit. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like you go, you don't go, oh, those are the stats.
Yeah.
Well, I'll.
And the all lives matter. Like, come on, bro. Yeah.
So it's like you need to be met emotionally. You need someone to acknowledge, yo, it does seem fucked up. I get why you guys feel that way 100%. I see these videos and it's fucking disgusting. It's terrifying. Right? And then you could also go to cops and be like, listen, it's hard to be you. Mm-hmm. It's hard to make those decisions in the moment. That's a fucking tough job. You're going out there, we're an armed public. You don't know who got a gun and who doesn't in America. Like, that's a scary fucking place to be. You start there.
But Nuance is uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable, but it is more comfortable if you at least meet somebody where they're feeling. Like if you acknowledge what they're feeling and not make them feel like a retard for it, which is like what I don't even know if it's like our political rhetoric has become. It's just this like dunk on economy. It's like, you're stupid because, you know, I'm right because.
It does require a lot of like empathy to be able to be like, hey, I feel for what black people have gone through historically and currently in America, but I feel for what cops are going through. And it's hard to feel like, oh, I understand what, you know, Ukraine's going through, but I also understand what Russia's going through. I understand what Gaza's going through. I also understand what the Israelis are going through.
Yeah.
Do you think it would help if like a prominent Jewish person came out and was like, hey, you guys don't understand. We've been at war with these people for a really long time. Yes, maybe the government has gone a little heavy-handed with the response, but until you're in it, you really don't get it. So you think that would help any sentiment?
My concern is you can't start any discussion with you don't understand.
Okay, well, but put it differently. But
I think that,
hey, we got attacked. Like our response, you might deem it as excessive, but we feel this is what's necessary in order to like end this conflict that's been going on for all these years.
Again, I don't know, but my estimation, it doesn't feel like they're very concerned with the perception of what's happening.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think people need to speak out more to help with the perception.
Yeah, and I think that there's like a lot of like...
Because without speaking out, we feel gaslit. Like, oh, we can't say anything because you're just going to call us anti-Semitic. Yep. And not us. I'm just trying to speak on
that would potentially be thrown out 100%. Yeah, it's a really tricky situation. I don't know what... I think that what people want to feel, the people who are really against this war, what they want to feel is that they're right, that the war is bad and it's wrong and what's horrible, what's happening. So it's going to require somebody on that side going, you're right, it's horrible what's happening and this has gone too far and this is disgusting. But we're still going to do it. Like, that's a very tricky position to be in. You know, so it's like, but again, I think a major component of this that nobody's talking to is Americans not really knowing what we get out of this support. Like, what do we get out of it? What is the concern? Like, if we found out that like Hamas was also behind all these potential terror attacks that were happening here and their base that organized them was doing that, and that there was 4 different attacks that were about to happen, they were thwarted because of that intelligence, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden Americans might go, whoa, okay. Yeah. We're under serious threat. So low. You know what I mean? Like, we might feel under serious threat. So we're like, all right, if you got to bang out, you got to bang out. And we got you. But I think Americans are removed from that threat. I know 9/11 was that long ago, but I think we're quite removed. We're definitely removed from the existential threat of Russia. Like, we just don't feel it. I can't speak for everybody, but I don't personally, I don't feel it.
So we forget quick.
I don't feel like
Eric Adams is running for mayor. We forget.
The GOAT, bro. We got Eric Adams. You invade us when we got Eric Adams?
He's not afraid.
Not afraid at all. Yo, he'll have 4 Turkish airliners in Russia tomorrow. Okay, with bad bitches. Best hairline you ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
In Russia tomorrow.
That's what I'm talking about.
But then the question is, what if they can't find a justification for why America needs to support Israel? Is it a necessity for the state to then create propaganda, or do they just say, hey, unfortunately, we don't have anything?
So I think the concern right now is that like propaganda in its old form is no longer useful.
Okay.
Useful meaning, effective. So like, I don't even know what the propaganda is anymore. I don't even think that.
I think it's effective.
But what is the propaganda that they're giving us? Like, the only way the propaganda works is if you create a threat against me. Like, what is the concern for me?
Oh, okay.
And I don't see that. The only argument I see is like, well, America would have done something 10 times worse and has in the past. It's like, all right, but you not us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's where I'm saying it's like we have to feel the propaganda has to induce an actual fear, which is what the propaganda for communism did. Like, that's MacArthurism or whatever happened. Like, we're like looking for people and are these Hollywood celebs, they're actually fucking communists. The American way is going to be completely destroyed. Like, there was real threat to America. Right now, we don't feel threat from Hamas at all. Right. And so the fact that we don't feel threat and we're supporting this thing, which we're seeing all these videos and it's like horrifying. And you're just like, what? So what is, I don't even know if they're giving propaganda. Like what is the good, useful propaganda?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the point, is that there isn't really.
Yeah.
Because Americans don't know why there's all this stake.
Yeah. So it's tricky. And this is one of the things that like, we're talking about like how leaders got to get support for things. We're not talking about whether things are right or wrong, right? Right or wrong is in, the eyes of the person that's doing the doing, right? Like, I'm sure they feel justified. They're like, look what happened to us. We're responding to this attack, etc. And I'm sure Hamas feels justified. They're like, look what has happened to us. And then we did that. So both of them feel like they're in the right and the other is in the wrong.
Absolutely.
And we're sitting over here going, what's this got to do with us, yo? Eggs are fucking $100. Why they get 40 billion when eggs are $100? Buy $40 billion worth of eggs before we go do this shit. So you need to massage. If you want support, you need to work on that.
Yeah.
Because if not, you are going to have so many people asking questions about this. I think if the economy was absolutely flourishing, everybody's rich and Bitcoin's at 100, I don't even think we're looking about what's happening in Ukraine. I think everybody's trying to buy a G-Wagon. Everybody's trying to start up some business on Instagram. Like when the economy's doing well, Americans, we don't even look outside. We only look outside for vacation. We're not looking where the money goes. It's like everybody gets robbed. Everybody who makes a lot of money, like a athlete or a rapper or something like that, like a musician, everybody gets robbed when they're making all the money. They don't realize it until they default on their house. And then they're like, well, my money manager took $5 million and this person. You don't notice that in the moment.
Yeah, when I was to pay taxes, I'd like unsubscribe from HBO.
Immediately.
I just look to see what's going on. But then HBO will send me an email and be like, you watched these shows this past year. And I go, oh,
give me my propaganda.
That's a good point,
Tell me
HBO.
what I paid for.
HBO, that's a good point. And then HBO will set up a terror squad from Netflix to shoot up my house. And I go, whoa, we got to get Netflix. What the hell's going on? I mean, that is my evil statecraft. If I was like the Machiavellian king of Israel, you prop up Hamas terror cells in America. Okay? Secretly, surreptitiously, through some other country, some type of proxy war. And then they cause domestic terrorism within the United States.
And then we go, Hamas can't exist anywhere.
We got to get rid of Hamas.
Wherever Hamas exists, we're rooting it out. Now, you're not suggesting that they do this. This would be
I've just been reading 48 Laws of Power, so.
That seems like a very effective book to learn how to deal with these things.
Exactly. So now I've become a master of power and deception and lies. But like, I don't know, if I was an evil, world builder, that's what I would do.
If we don't care about you, you're not getting our money.
Did you learn to hypnotize yet?
No, that shit is fake.
I think Al could be hypnotized 100%.
I know I can. The fuck?
He thought he was white in his past life, bro.
I still believe that past life regression
Low
shit.
key, we need a hypnotist on the pod to hypnotise you. I think you're going down
I wouldn't
immediately.
let you guys do it here. Fuck
Oh, come on.
No, you're going to have me kissing Miles.
I was about to say.
Fuck out of here. Shit. I'm going to come back to and kill myself? Fuck out of here.
Bro, we got a mentalist at the last Mary Lou show.
Okay.
Oh, it was the best.
Wait, really?
Yeah. He was
Tell me what
awesome.
happened.
This guy, Josh, the foodie magician.
Okay.
Which also, can we just point out, a lot of people think that Jews have magic.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's true.
Okay.
But every famous magician is Jewish. So you guys do have to answer for that also. That it's just, there's a lot. Copperfield, David Blaine, this guy, the foodie magician.
Houdini,
yeah. Infamously
We
Houdini.
love
David
magic.
Blaine, guys.
We love magic.
That's
You can get us back on your side, man.
So I don't think Jews have secret powers, but you guys are the closest to having secret powers. If we just look at magicians.
Whoa.
I'll take it. I'll take whatever we can take.
But he went up on the show and like guessed like all this crazy, like he like knew the restaurant that I liked, my favorite restaurant,
that's
wrote
so
it down
awesome.
on a thing, revealed it,
that's so
and then had it on an Instagram post from 2 months ago, like the name of the restaurant, everyone else's things. He guessed like some girl's like dog. And then all the black comics on the show were just fucking furious. Just watching the show just from the back, just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And we supposed to believe they don't control the weather?
Fucking crazy. Pissed off. But yeah, no,
He didn't come to my show. I went to the later one.
Yeah.
We just had an annoying couple in the front that I was so happy. They went to the bathroom, the couple, and then while coming back, they both bust their ass trying to get back to the table. It was so good. And then she tried to get up and bust her ass again.
No,
I had to run out laughing.
Yeah,
I would have like disrupted the show. I couldn't hold it.
How often are you doing the show? Monthly?
Yeah, once the last Tuesday of every month.
So the last Tuesday every month, Mark does a show at Mary Lou, and Mark and Joey Avery, they run a show at Mary Lou. Great comedy show and an awesome venue. I used to go to used to be a place called Cafe Orlin. And Jamil and I used to have breakfast there every single week of our lives. The first podcast I ever recorded in my entire life that never saw the light of day, me and my boy Bobby, you guys know Bobby, recorded at Cafe Orlin, just on a random like Zoom mic with no actual microphone.
What was the discussion of that podcast?
Just some wild shit. Probably the same thing we discussed. But yeah, so like it's a great show. I've done it. You guys should go check it out. And it's the last Tuesday of every single month. So have you posted tickets for the next thing yet?
No, we're actually gonna be posting today.
Okay, so today will come out. Go get them shits. It's fantastic. They do 2 shows a night, and you never know who's going to pull up. You guys have some nice little.
Yeah, we've had a good little lineup.
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
All right, what else we got before we wrap this up?
Are we gonna run through some feelings, no facts, real quick?
Let's get it.
You saw Kanye talking to fake Rogan?
Oh, poor Kanye.
Poor Kanye.
No, poor Kanye. Fuck Kanye.
Did you see this?
Click it.
Kanye goes on Twitter and he's like, guys, I'm playing another podcast with Joe Rogan. Here you go. And then Rogan tweets at him and goes, yeah, it's not me.
Do you think Kanye did that on purpose? Like, he got to know he's not talking.
Can't let him have it all, man. Come on.
Do you think he's just doing this? He knows he's not talking to Rogan.
Like some people were pointing out like, oh, it's fake text messages and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then like he put the whole thing together. There's also another.
You really give Kanye that much credit?
Honestly,
I really could believe that he thought he was talking to Rogan.
Maybe. I bet you he was trying to get on and then it wasn't really lining up. And so then he put it out in the universe.
Oh, to try to force his hand?
Something like that. Like, I don't know.
But Rogan's not that tight.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Nah, this is just, it's sad.
I think somebody just hit him with like, hey, this Rogan is my new number. He just
he believed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I guess that would get me.
Yeah.
That would get you.
Yeah.
Phishing scam.
Oh, I get fish all the fucking time. Also, shout out Rogan, man. That was a fun episode. The paddle community, internationally, is going crazy.
Oh yeah, it's lighting up.
Yeah, because we spoke about paddle. Like he didn't know what paddle was, and it was so interesting. Like Rogan knows pretty much everything, so him finding out about something is like rare. And like he was like, wait, what is this sport? Like he literally knows he talks to every expert in every field. And then I bring it up. It was so cool just to see every like paddle page talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's similar to. Like it's like we're like part of like an indie rock band or something like that. And then we get mentioned on MTV or something. Like
It's a new sport.
You're right.
Like,
It is new. But it was cool to just talk about it on like the biggest platform in the world and then also see all the people in the community be really excited about it.
Yeah.
This also just shows like, obviously everybody knows the biggest platform in the world, but it is, I imagine, quite validating for this sport that we're all obsessed with, that we have to tell people is not pickleball every single day to like get spoken about on this thing. And then Rogan being like excited about it.
Well, that's why Joe's the best.
Yeah.
Is that like you tell him something new and he goes, I'd love it. I want to know about
more.
this.
Yeah.
Whereas Alex over here.
That shit is gay.
It usually is some gay shit. Do you see? Y'all recording yourselves playing. It ain't that hetero.
Shut up with your fucking tennis posts. He does these like cryptic little tennis posts.
Yeah. Well, do you know what he's doing this
I'll be
week?
having matching outfits and shit like that.
I do that shit too. I ain't gonna lie. What do you want for Christmas? I go paddle up.
But you act like that's new. You match all the time anyway.
I know.
Nah, but you gotta flex when you're on the court, bro. You gotta stunt on them.
Yeah. I even have to tie headband and shit.
Really?
Like Agassi, yeah.
Is that that's why you're matching with the couch right now?
You know how like when we would play ball back in the day, like the dude that had the perfect basketball outfit was always ass.
Always ass, yeah. That's me.
But now I get why they did that. Yeah. Because up to the point when they play, they don't really look like ass. So you basically have like that 15 minutes of warm up before the person that you're playing against know you suck. Where you're like, all right, I got it. Like when we were in Dubai and we were in Abu Dhabi, they gave us the paddle shirts with our names on.
Oh yeah.
So I'm showing up to the court with a fucking name on my back. My name.
They think you're Emirati.
They think I play pro for the UAE.
Propaganda. Soft power.
Nah. So my birthday's next week, and so for
Ain't no way you go fuck.
this weekend, I'm going to a tennis hotel. That's a paddle.
I've heard about these.
Yeah,
So
it's
go
like
on.
5-6 different courts. They just all year round. They have like different trainers there and shit like that, and so players just come in and out, all inclusive.
Where is it?
In Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
right
have them in
right
Hawaii.
on the beach.
Yeah.
So my shorty will just be on the beach. I'm gonna be playing all day. Perfect birthday.
This is like
Yeah, that is
perfect.
This is the dream.
Rafa Nadal has it in Mallorca. I think
Right.
people go for the week.
They don't have a paddle hotel?
Schultzy, you need to do that.
I need to make it.
You need to do
So
that.
basically, any vacation that we try to make up, we're first looking at. Jason and I are going like, okay, where's the paddle, right? And we thought that we had that locked in with St. Bart's, but like getting anything to a Caribbean island is like just this mound of bureaucracy you have to get through, even for like these rich bougie people. At the end of the day, like there's something funny about government is like even the richest, most bougie people, they gotta like tuck their cock between their legs and beg some local mayor, please, can I get my paddle court? And the mayors just go, nah, we're too busy. We can't do that shit. Wow. So they didn't have it up. But every vacation I try to take, I want to make sure there's paddle. So what you're doing, I'm like so envious of. It's unbelievable.
My girl's on board. I was like, oh,
Because she gets to go to the beach.
Yeah.
You guys have a nice breakfast together.
Yep.
You have a nice dinner.
And I play all
And then
day.
you play in between. And she hangs at the beach. She reads.
Great.
Tell me this isn't an awesome vacation.
Every year.
Playing tennis every day, very white, but having a whole week
Nah,
for your
we taking it
birthday,
all.
a whole week for your birthday, very black. So I think it balances.
I get that.
Yeah, so
But
you get to do both.
We take it over to sport. We got Coco. We got Sheldon. We got a few.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, there are a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We doing good. Tell me. Watch out.
up.
We gonna come for paddle, bro.
I would love that. I would love that because you are kind of like imprisoned. There's a fence. All right.
Stephen A. Smith was got into a beef with LeBron.
Yo.
You saw this?
Yeah.
Stephen A. for president, bro.
Yo, Stephen A. is that's a real one right there, bro. Yeah. A lot of people would be terrified of beefing with LeBron because of the leverage he has over the sports media.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen A. don't give a fuck, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually interesting. I wonder if you cannot give a fuck more now that like information is decentralized. Like he has his own podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't need ESPN. Even if ESPN was like, hey, that's the golden goose, don't piss off LeBron. He'd be like, all right, I just won't talk about it over here. I'll just get all the ratings on my pod.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you're getting like a more honest version of sports journalism where back in the day it was very much curated.
You need to get scoops. You need to get all this stuff.
And he just got 100 M, so they're not upset of what he's saying about LeBron. He said they're like, yo, run it up.
Run that shit up.
But that was a big misstep on LeBron, though.
Yeah, can you tell me what it was about?
I mean, it was just like, keep my son's name out your mouth type thing.
Son, your son is a professional athlete, LeBron. I get, what's that?
I don't think it was about his son specifically playing. It was something that he compared Carmelo and his relationship with his son to LeBron.
Oh.
And it was sort of like a weird little like sneak diss from what I understand. And
so he wasn't insulting the way he played the game. He was insulting like his role as a father.
Yeah, it seems more like that, to be honest, from what I understand. Like I was reading up on a bunch of people that were like sort of pinning it and like the time code of what he was saying.
Yeah. But he said a bunch about Bronny. So it's like, I'm pretty sure he's just tired of him constantly bringing up his son.
Well, look, here's the reality.
But
right?
he just made it 10 times worse.
So like this is one of the quotes he said. I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father, stop this. In regards to Bronny's playtime in the NBA.
Right. And the idea is the only reason Bronny's there is because he is LeBron's son.
Yeah.
Which is a perfectly reasonable excuse. Now, I will say there's G League games where Bronny seems to be going off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but when he plays at the elite level, he doesn't have any numbers that reflect his ability to play in the NBA.
And that's what I believe Stephen A. is saying, where it's like he's not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then LeBron's coming at him like, yo, as a father, stop talking about my kid.
So this is a tricky thing. It's like, because your father's in this advantageous position, you're going to be able to bestow certain opportunities upon your kid. And he even mentioned this before. He's like, I see white people do this all the time. They get their kids jobs that they don't deserve. Mm-hmm. So he goes, so I support you doing it. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it goes without criticism. Just like it doesn't go without criticism when you see the Nepo baby shit with white people, with Jews, with anybody, right? It's like, we criticize the Nepo babies. We like to see people who have earned things and deserve things.
Yeah. We just don't have like commentary for hedge funds.
We should.
We should. We should have a Stephen A. for hedge
should.
And every week they just go through all of them. They're like, yo, this trade, this person hired this guy. That was fucked up. They got money from this person.
That'd be fire.
We should just have a watchdog that just goes off on all the financial
It's
institutions.
just so boring to look at all that financial shit.
Stephen A. can make it awesome.
That person makes it a month before they get taken up.
Yeah, also that.
Anyway, the point is like, I guess you can't have it both ways. Like, you can get your kid a job that maybe he doesn't deserve, but you can't also say nobody's allowed to criticize him. And if he doesn't deserve it, this is a merit-based business, sports, you're going to get extra criticism. So I get it as a father. Like, you want to ride for your kids. I 100% understand that. But it's not going to stop it. Like, LeBron can say whatever he wants. The only reason I would say don't do it is because it's just going to put more gas on it.
That's what yeah.
Yeah. And this
It's
is, I feel like,
worse.
the second thing in the past week that I've heard LeBron saying about the media.
What do you say?
Like, he was talking about this thing with, who was it? Anthony Edwards, I think. Where he was like, or I forget, Tatum, where he was like, why do you want to be the face of the league? So you can just get criticized all the time, get criticized every day, day in, day out, everything you do picked apart by the media. So it feels like at this point in his career, he's like, I should be beyond this, but I'm still getting nitpicked at every single turn.
You know what's interesting, man? Is that I don't know if this same criticism would happen 10 years ago. LeBron has one probably year left. He might do 2 or 3. He could play as long as like his body holds up and his body looks great. But let's say he's got 1 or 2 years left. When the media knows you have 1 or 2 years left, you don't have the leverage that you had when you have the next decade to dominate the sport. The media is moving on and finding new stars. They're not as reliant on you for the success of the league as they were in the past. Like, it's in the media's best interest, if you're a superstar, for you to be a superstar, because the bigger you get, the more attention these people in the media get. I think it's probably one of the arguments for protecting, they say they protected Jordan, right? It's just like, yo, can you just not post bad shit about the Golden Goose and let us.
And that's a difference, though. I feel like they've always talked shit about Bron.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very little, but they've always done it throughout his career. You remember he wasn't clutch in the beginning.
You're right. You're right
his
about
record
that.
in the finals, like, he never got the Jordan treatment. And maybe that's why
is
he's
that?
disgruntled about.
Yeah, but why do you think that is?
I think just too much competition in sports media, and it's like,
Oh, wow, that's interesting. It's like you need a take, and there's 40 different shows, and they're all going to have a take.
And what's the most interesting take is saying that one of the greatest of all time is actually not the greatest.
And that's what we do just with everything.
so
It's just
imagine
like,
if you're him, he's like, yo, look at what I've done. And you're still.
And that probably fuels you when you're like 28.
Yeah.
But when you're 41, you're just
And
like,
you've already done everything. You've won all the records. You're the lead scorer. Like, you've done everything. And you're like, finally, this will shut them up.
Nope.
And then you're like, fuck this then.
Yeah, because your greatness isn't what shuts them up or not.
And then I wonder if there's even a part of him that's like, I've been subject to this my entire life. My entire personal life picked apart. I can't live in privacy. Everything sucks.
And now I'm putting my son through this. So he's probably trying to squash it early. Like, yo, chill.
And that's
you
not
can talk about me, but chill out on him. Oh, that's a good ass one.
Yeah. And I wonder if he feels like a little bit of a sense of like, yo, I'm putting my son through this terrible bullshit I put myself through. And he's a great player. But also, like, we're good. Like, I did this because I came from nothing in Akron, Ohio. Yeah. But my kid doesn't necessarily have to do this.
He really doesn't have to go through it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to. But, like, now he's going to be subjected to it even more scrutinized.
Yeah.
I was compared to Jordan, and now my kid is going to be compared to me. And, like...
And he probably feels personally responsible because he knows his son doesn't belong in that spot. And it's because he leveraged his son to get in that spot. So now you're responsible for all that hate he's getting.
I wonder if he's grappling with that thing where it's like, is this Bronny's dream? Is he doing this to impress me? Have I kind of like pushed this ambition onto him? Like, that's a tricky one.
And through no fault of his own, like just by becoming this virtuoso at this thing, your kids are going to want to emulate.
You see how much people admire your father. You want to do that thing that they admire your father for naturally.
I want to be a comic just because my dad told funny stories.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so imagine your dad's the greatest ever. You're like, yeah, you want to take a part in that lineage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tricky.
So and I feel for LeBron.
I wonder if he justifies it like...
I feel for both Bron and Bronny.
Oh, for sure. But I wonder if LeBron justifies trying to squash the criticism by saying, you don't talk about any other G League player like this.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yo, just treat him like every other G League player and don't cover him, which you do. So he goes, he might think in his brain, he might be, you're just doing this to either get at me or because you know it's clicks, but it's not genuine or authentic because you don't talk about G League players at all. But he's got to reconcile the fact that
they're not treating Bronny as a G League player.
But he don't see it like that. I bet you in his mind, I bet you LeBron is like, no, Bronny should be in the NBA and he should be in the G League. Like, he's better than these other guys. I see him hoop with them. Like, he actually has guys on his team that I'm sure he's like, Bronny's better than him. I don't even know why the fuck we got this bum on the team. And also there's that bias of being a dad. Like, everything you see in your kid is going to be the best. So I wonder if he genuinely believes that the criticism is unfounded and he's reacting in kind.
And it probably is, because the fact that he's balling in the G League, like, it's probably a mental thing when he gets in.
Also, like, when we saw him at the Garden, like, he gets put in with 30 seconds left, and obviously they're going to try to get him some buckets. But keep in mind,
they call it garbage time for a reason.
Facts. But think about it. If you're playing D on the last 30 seconds of a blowout, you're also the bum on the other team, and you're like, I ain't letting this kid score on me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So he's not going against garbage time defense.
Yeah.
He's going up against some young whippersnapper who's like, Bronny is not scoring on me.
Yeah.
This guy everybody calls a bum is going to score on me. Then I'm going to lose my 10-day contract. Fuck that. I'm putting the clamps on this kid. So he's probably going against weaker defense in the G League just in terms of effort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're treating him just like another player. Probably there's probably a little ego.
I'm sure
But
there's
compared to the league, it's like,
but
it's a different level.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. As a dad, I get it. But
But that was like Zelensky. He should have did that in private. That's the misstep.
Yeah.
You know, you got Stephen A's number. You could have just had that same combo in private.
Also, Stephen A told us, like, when somebody tells me in confidence something, I maintain that confidence. He's like, that's how you build trust with the players. Remember he was on the pod saying that? He's like, there's a bunch of things that people told me in confidence. I don't let that go out there in the world. If something happens publicly, I will address that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was like an emotional. Yeah, a little misstep right there on Bron's part. A little misstep right there on Bron's
I
part.
wonder if he has told him in private.
Ooh.
I wonder if he's like, hey, just chill with all that.
Yeah.
And then didn't chill.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. What you saying, Duff?
Look at Mark's text for some breaking news.
Oh, what do we got?
Ukraine agrees to U.S.-led ceasefire plan if Russia accepts.
So real quick, just on this. This is something that I've been thinking about a little bit recently. I'm not talking about like the fringe groups, like the fringe right or the fringe left, right? Talking about like the average, just kind of like working American. I think that we agree on like almost everything. Not in terms of like what is a better functioning government or that kind of stuff. In terms of like human to human basis. You're like, I don't want these people to suffer. I want people to have an opportunity. Some people think that opportunity is better when things are privately run. People think it's better when there's a little bit bigger government that can offer assistance. But like on the human to human level, that what we want for each other is very similar. So our reaction to this administration and the past administration is really based on optimism or pessimism. So I treat this administration with optimism. Like I see Trump's tariff stuff and all this other things, and I'm like, okay, it's hard to litigate something geopolitically in the public eye, but maybe this is his version of getting a better rate by throwing these tariffs, and then they come back and they go, okay, don't give us 100%, just do 10%, and then we'll lower your tariffs that we impose on you. And I wonder, he's negotiating. Unfortunately, he has to negotiate in front of the world, and he can't exactly tell America, yo, by the way, I'm not really going to do 100. We're just trying to get them down, because once he does that, he loses the leverage, right? So I treat it with a little bit more optimism. Whereas someone who doesn't like Trump, but is still just like a reasonable person, he or she looks at it with pessimism. They're like, he's going to tank the economy. He's going to destroy this. But it doesn't mean that we don't want the same thing. We want an America that flourishes. And we just get caught up in the tribal rhetoric. But I really think and then the same thing with like the Democrats. There was a pessimism that we looked at the Biden administration with the people that were more sympathetic to what Trump was saying, right? We're like, yeah, I don't think America will be as good if that happens. I think that more people will suffer, or at least not be able to move out of this very difficult situation they're in. But in terms of what we want for each other, I think it's very similar.
Yeah.
I think we just get caught up in this, like, it feels so black and white. It's really not. It's like, yeah, we want things to be cheaper.
the people who are Democrats are like, yeah, I think that the Democrats have a way of doing that. I think it's going to be better for people. And the Republicans are like, yeah, I actually don't think that that's been working. Let's try something different. But the way that it's spoken about online is so good versus evil that I think we think that we're on opposing sides in terms of the end goal. We're really not. It's just like, for example, Charlemagne is more pessimistic about what Trump's administration is doing. I'm more optimistic about it. I'm sure if the Democrats were in power, he would be optimistic about what they're doing and their strategies. I might be more pessimistic about it. We both want the same thing.
Yeah.
We want better trade deals. We want better things for America, right? We don't want some shit that's fair. Fuck fair. We want to come out ahead. I want a better deal with Canada, a better deal with Mexico, a better deal with I want to win all that shit.
And it's kind of I feel like where I sit is like a dumb position sometimes because like I feel so jaded by political discourse that I just am like, wait and see. Yeah. Which I've said before, but like it's kind of a cop-out fence-sitting answer. But at the same time, I'm like, is the ceasefire good? Yeah. It's like, all right, it's good. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, part of Ukraine gets absorbed, and you're like, is that good?
That doesn't seem good.
And then Soviet Union reorganized. You're like, is that like I don't, you know what I mean? So it's like until it actually affects me on like a personal basis or like the American society at large. Yeah. I kind of try to reserve judgment where I'm like, just wait and see, and which isn't a good position necessarily from like a broadcasting standpoint. You know what I mean? Because people want to know what
they want a feeling, they want an opinion. But I also think like sharing that sentiment is important because there's people that also feel that way.
There's a lot of people that like that.
Because this shit really is a Rorschach test, right? Like, and I'm exposing my bias. I see that there's a ceasefire deal, right? So this is my bias right here. I'm like, all right, Trump pulled the money after that meeting, and all of a sudden we got a ceasefire deal, right? Now, that might not have been how it has gone at all. Some other shit might have happened with European support, and then somebody else backdoored with Putin and had a conversation, whatever. But in my biased mind, I'm like, see, sometimes you got to play hardball, and then it ends up working out. Let's see how these tariffs work out over here, etc.
And which goes back to perception, because I'm pretty sure Trump is going to frame it that way.
Of course. And then his base would be like, see, I told you so. And then his opposition will be like, this had nothing to do with you. This was actually negotiated by Saudi Arabia, and there's another deal or whatever the fuck.
But yeah, all the noise online is just like sports analysts. Everybody wants to be first to the take, and you need to have the more outrageous
salacious, outrageous take.
How are you going to get views?
Yeah, like you almost wish that there's a way that you could be like, how far does the pendulum need to swing before the most salacious thing is the most trustworthy thing? Like, I feel like,
aren't we in those times?
Well, I don't know. Like every time I think we are, and then like you could say, wow, conspiracy theories, and it seems like all of Twitter is like, yep, that's fact. That is 100%. Like, I wonder when conspiracies are just so mainstream that there's like this thirst for, all right, just tell me the boring truth.
Oh, you mean when it swings back? I thought you meant okay.
Like, I feel like right now,
we're like at the top of the
like
swing where
conspiracy is everything. Like, I'm like, I can't wait till like some doctor comes on and goes, all right, we did all the tests. This is the boring truth about vaccines. This shit is boring, but this is what it is.
Yeah, but we like story. And we like a good story. Conspiracies are
You're
good
right.
stories.
You're right. No, but I wonder, like, the societal value in conspiracy is like, you know some shit that nobody else knows. But if it becomes so popular, right? The new conspiracy will be the truth that thwarts the conspiracy. Everybody knows the conspiracy. Like, I remember I first read that that Dan Brown book.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code. Yeah. And I remember just being at parties in college, like, yeah, but this painting actually means this, and the Knights Templar, and like, it was just great. It felt so cool to share that information.
Oh, this is you at the fucking museum.
You're like, Brad,
do you see the symbol?
Samoan women are fat for this reason. Yeah. So, but I wonder, and then once that book became so popular, regurgitating that information was less, like, there's less dopamine.
Yeah, because you'll tell people and they go,
yeah, I read that book too.
The
like,
CIA killed JFK, sure.
Yeah.
And then someone's gonna be like, well, did you know it was actually a crazy guy named Lee Harvey Oswald? Then everyone's gonna be like, no way, that's crazy.
Right? Like, I wonder if once conspiracy theories become so mainstream that you no longer get the dopamine hit from sharing that like secret information, that now the cool information to know is Yeah, I mean, 9/11, like this guy was on the job and he had the information. He decided to not look into it and he fucked up. In order to cover his ass, he had to blanket statement that this really happened. And that's why it appears like it's this grand conspiracy, but it's really just incompetence at the highest level and somebody trying to cover up or whatever the fuck it is. And then people go, what? That's what really happened? Like, I can't wait till society is so aware of every conspiracy that the boring truth is the hot shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we ever get there.
I don't think it happens. I think people just move
what
on.
you just said is
Boring. I know.
Go on,
I
Tom.
know.
What happened to building number 7? That's
Right?
That's what we want to know.
Fuck.
And then even if the truth comes out, then people go, oh, well, we can't trust the authority of where the truth came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of see with like alien bubbles where people are like, oh, aliens are real. Everyone's like, nah, you're crazy. And then everyone's like, no, aliens are definitely real. And then eventually the government's gonna be like, yeah, aliens are real. And people are gonna be like, this is a psyop. This is trying to make like global control. These aliens are fake. And so
they're actually
aliens
underwater type shit.
Yeah, like you go from, oh, aliens are real, they're covering it up, to then, oh, they're obviously flouting aliens to trick us.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it just shifts form just due to the subversion of authority. It's like, nah. Yeah, I don't know if it changes. People need storytelling and they need a search for truth. And there's always like these threads of truth that exist within all these conspiracies that people want to tie onto.
God damn.
Yeah, dog.
I just want to know the world isn't as bad as
It feels.
It's worse. It's worse.
Listen, we love y'all, man. We'll see you on Patreon this week. Patreon.com/flagrants. Peace.